Hello, nerds watching all over the internet. It is Thursday night, March 20th, and we're here for another exciting live edition of Wrestle Rewind. Yahoo! Another Thursday night to talk about all the cool, wonderful things happening in the world of pro wrestling. We're talking matches, segments, OMG moments, title changes, returning legends, massive pay-per-view events, and much more. I am your host, Jose Casabona. I'm also the host, the founder, executive producer, and content manager of this channel. And on behalf of all of us, we appreciate all of you tuning in tonight. And joining behind the camera is the host of the Black Files, my attack partner for Wrestle Rewind, the man who puts in the hours behind all the videos on this channel every single week. Hailing all the way from Los Angeles, California, in Stage 7 from Warner Brothers Studios, Mr. Juan Arouse.
What the fuck? When did this happen? When did this happen?
Tell Timeless Tony Storm I said hi.
No, for real, when did this happen? When did I move to LA? Thank you for that fine introduction, Jose. Don't you ever forget the mister.
How are Bugs and Daffy, Juan?
They're being killed by David Zaslav, you jerk.
Oh, shit! Damn it! You're right!
Yeah, you forgot, didn't you, you hobo?
No! No!
Yeah, nice going,
But
genius.
David Zaslav, you called CM Punk One Bill Phil!
Yeah, sure, yeah, let's go there, Jose.
We thought you were
Jose,
you thought you were a punk man.
Let's not kid ourselves. David Zaslav doesn't know the first thing about professional wrestling, which is why he doesn't fucking deserve any fucking accolades when it comes to.
He wouldn't know wrestling if it booted him in the face and dropped a leg and dropped the leg on him.
Actually, yeah, no, you're right.
All right, fair enough. And much like all our other shows, folks, we are simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. And you can trust us because, unlike them, we will not cannibalize our own content.
What?
Exactly.
You're talking about Warner Brothers. Like, what? Kick doesn't do that. They just deal with unscrupulous people.
Yeah, no. Unlike Warner Brothers, we will not cannibalize our own content. So, folks, be sure to hit the subscribe or the like button on the bottom of the right corner of your screen. Click the bell icon to enable notifications. Leave your questions and comments below, and we'll answer as many as we can. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens flock, then you can become an inner flocker. And for $4.99 a month, you'll have access to all the perks that comes with our membership. Juan, tell them.
For all the inner flockers we've got in our chat, and I know we have plenty, go ahead and show off those lovely membership badges and custom emojis, letting everybody know that you're here to help rescue the Ravens flock from the culture's late-stage capitalism to become full-time streamers. Since 2013, we've been working hard, staying strong, making your voice our mission. The only thing standing in our way now is the fact we have to work 9 to 5 jobs just to keep the lights on. However, there's a way that you can help resolve this. There's a way that you can save us all, once and for all. And that way, this involves what you've been doing for us this whole time, which is sharing this content, which is continuing to support the Ravens flock by liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to us, and hitting the notification bell for all our alerts. You want to make sure that you have the bell set to all, not to custom or personalized, not to off. Look at the little bell next to our button and hit all. All right, and before you know it, as you keep sharing and reposting the Ravens flock, and you keep putting us over on your timeline, people are going to ask you, who are these nerds and these dorks that you're promoting over here? Well, they're the Ravens flock. They cover geek culture, nerd culture, and pop culture news. They go to conventions, they interview people, they have awesome shows, they fight for a good cause, which is speaking up for the geek community and speaking truth to power and trying to have fun while we're at it. And if you don't have a narc for a friend, then they'll be freaking down with us too, and they'll follow us, and they'll subscribe to us too. And before you know it, we'll have enough subscribers under us and enough inner flockers under us that we'll be financially stable, and we won't have to worry about working at a job anymore, because if you do what you love for the rest of your life, you never work a day in your life. With your help, we can and will succeed. You also get access to Members First and Members Only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description below, and you also get access to us, the Ravens flock, your favorite motley crew of nerds here to make your voice our mission by providing us your thoughts, your feedback, and your ideas to better shape the future of this channel to suit your tastes and needs. So far, we've got Mr. Quake and Nikki Bella holding it down. We appreciate you guys so much for being here. But Jose, pray tell, what is it exactly that we do here on Wrestle Rewind?
Well, here on Wrestle Rewind, we review 3 of the most exciting pro wrestling programs in North America today. That is WWE's NXT, AEW Dynamite, and TNA Impact. All right, so here's where we are right now. We are coming close to the end of March. TNA has just wrapped up their pay-per-view event of Sacrifice, which was last Friday. More on that in just a little bit. And we're also gearing up for WWE and AEW's upcoming pay-per-view events. AEW has their pay-per-view event of AEW Dynasty, which is going to be coming up in the matter of weeks, whereas WWE is gearing up for WrestleMania. That's right. WrestleMania weekend is coming up over in Las Vegas, baby. Yay. Over on April 19th and the 20th. And, of course, NXT has their own pay-per-view event happening on Saturday the 19th called Stand and Deliver.
Yay!
So
stand on business and deliver, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Exactly. And we're not talking about that old movie featuring Henry James Olmos and Lou Diamond Phillips.
Wait. What?
We've talked about this several times. There's an old movie called Stand and Deliver starring Henry James Olmos. He was that dude from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Battlestar Galactica and Blade Runner.
And Lou Diamond Phillips.
Really? Where the hell have I been?
Oh my god.
No, I don't remember.
I gotta find it for you.
Go figure. You know something about a movie that I don't remember.
No, it's okay. We'll talk about that more later. But that being said, we've got so much to go through, so much to talk about. And you know what? You know what it is, Juancho? I'll tell you why. Here's the reason why I know more classic movies than you do. Well, slightly more than you do.
Yeah, no, listen, you have a different niche of movies that you know about. There's a difference. There's a big fat difference. Don't lie. Don't try and fluff yourself up, brother.
Well, what can I say? I'm fueled by two things. Number one, curiosity, which has also gotten me in more trouble than I want to admit. And number two, energy. And not just any regular energy. We're talking glitch energy.
You're damn right we are, which is why we here at the Ravens Flock are proud to continue being partnered with our friends at Glitch Energy. Glitch Energy's specially formulated smart energy blend keeps you running strong all day long, just like the Ravens Flock, with zero sugar, zero carbs, zero calories, zero lag, and zero crash. And if you were to head to glitchenergy.com, you make sure that you get yourself hooked up with all their updates, because you never know when they'll be releasing a new flavor.
That's right. On last Saturday's edition of the Ravens Flock, we unveiled a new flavor from Glitch Energy called the Hollywood Punch.
Well, it's not like we unveiled it as if we were the ones responsible for it. We would be making money.
All right, listen.
But no.
Okay, listen. They unveiled the flavor. We relayed the message.
We're helping promote it. We're helping to spread the word.
And yes, Hollywood Punch is pretty much tropical punch flavored, and it is inspired by H2K.
Hollywood 2K.
Hollywood 2K, a Twitch streamer who's looking to make a name for himself. And like I said, it's tropical punch. Who doesn't like the flavor?
And he's indirectly a friend of the flock due to the fact that he works with the buddies that we work with over here.
Precisely. And folks, if you go onto glitchenergy.com and use our promo code FlockFuel, you will receive a 20% discount on your order. So don't delay. Go to glitchenergy.com, get your hands on some Hollywood Punch, make yourself feel like an A-lister and not a cannibalized project from Warner Discovery right now.
We want to thank Glitch Energy for partnering with the Ravens Flock.
Please don't cannibalize us!
Please don't cannibalize us. For the love of God, we're nice. Also, Vicente Guerrero made his way in the chat. Hey, Vicente, welcome to Wrestle Rewind. Just happy to be here among my wrestling friends. Even more happy not to get spikes in the back like Mox did. We'll get to that. You better believe we'll get to that tonight.
We're going to get to that Oh, God.
Fuck.
All right.
Also, real quick, I need to give you guys a little bit of a disclaimer. If I sound like I'm talking with my mouth full during any part of the show, it's because I am. Should I show them?
Yeah, show them. Juan has created and crafted incredibly delicious loaded bacon cheeseburgers tonight for dinner. And it is so yummy. My only regret is that I didn't have my cheeseburger with a slice of tomato on it.
It's okay. Next time.
Now, that being said, while Juan is munching on some good old American burger,
handmade, the recipe for the ground beef is between me and K-Storm.
We're gonna go ahead and get to the review. We're gonna start things off with this week's edition of NXT. Juan, ring that bell.
Don't mind if I do.
All right, we're gonna start things off with some cross-branding action featuring
You mean they crossed the line again?
No, not that kind of crossing.
No, not that. What?
You'll see.
What are you talking about?
Featuring two of the greatest in the NXT Women's Division, I am slowing down to give Juan time to look for the image.
Yeah, thank you, Jeebus.
I don't know.
You're running faster. Your mouth is running faster than my hands.
And this one-on-one contest is for the WWE Women's United States Championship, as the defending Women's United States Champion,
Chelsea Green,
puts her title on the line against NXT Sol Ruca.
Okay, that's what you mean. SmackDown crossing over. Yeah, better than McDonald's. You're damn right. Better than Five Guys. You better believe this shit. The burger's gonna be awesome. All right, go on, Jose.
I mean, anything's better than McDonald's right now.
And of course, people pledge. I found fucking footage, fan cam footage of guys in the NXT stage
pledging allegiance to
Chelsea Green.
And Chelsea Green was not alone. She was also flanked by her entourage, her bodyguard Piper Niven.
Secret Hervis.
Yes. Her bodyguard Piper Niven, and now added to the group, former Women's Tag Team Champion Alba Fire.
God dang it!
Yep, she's dropped the witchy pyromancer look, and now she is part of the cabinet.
How dare they?
They got to do something with her since Isla Dawn was released, which I still think is a criminal move. But what do I know? I'm just a fan. So let's get to it. So. Here we go. Chelsea Green versus Sol Ruca. Check it out. These two women start off with Sol Ruca running circles all over Chelsea Green and doing cartwheels all around the United States champion.
Giggity.
Yeah, check it out. One-handed cartwheels while Chelsea Green is trying to keep up with this incredible SoCal surfer.
How dare you? How dare she? How dare she besmirch our wonderful youngest / oldest / wealthiest / poorest / shortest / tallest / longest / shortest reigning WWE Women's United States Champion of all time? How dare they? The nerve!
Oh,
also, red works for Chelsea. Sorry, go on, continue.
No, it's okay. Also, before we continue with the review, a bigger shout out to Chelsea Green first for paying tribute to Mick Foley by dressing up as Cactus Jack inspired gear in her hardcore match against Mishin on SmackDown a couple weeks ago.
That was cool.
Yeah, you saw the picture, right?
Yes, I did. It was nice.
Yeah. All right. So now let's get to it because I have a lot of pictures of this match. You're gonna have to dual task one.
Oh no, I can do that.
All right. Okay. And then after running circles around her, Sol Ruca did her own saluting, and she did her surfboard wave while saluting to the crowd, and the fans loved it. As you can see, and Chelsea Green was just.
Is that Zarya? I see.
Yeah, Zarya. Sol Ruca's best friend is also at ringside supporting her, making sure that that Chelsea's personal entourage doesn't cause any ringside chicanery. Indeed. All right, but
she's Canadian, so Shania Twain. But oh my God, you're right. She does got that Shania going on.
Well, yes, of course. Now, that being said, unfortunately, Sol Ruca's momentum was cut short by Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green started targeting the right knee of Sol Ruca, and as soon as we get back from commercial break,
that's the surgically repaired knee, yes?
That's right. And when we got back from commercial break, Chelsea Green continued the punishment onto the knee, locking in that submission hold, trying to force a tap out. And Sol Ruca needs working legs, because otherwise, how's she going to do all the flippity-doo-dah stuff that she does on WWE?
I don't know how we're gonna do this. It looks like there's no hope. I'm kidding. There is hope.
There is hope. Damn it!
Guess you're right. There is.
Now, but thankfully, Sol Ruca was able to fire back despite the disadvantage. Sol Ruca mounts her own comeback. Yeah, she tries to work over Chelsea Green. She hits a springboard crossbody. She does clothesline after clothesline, and then she does this awesome. What she does is that she goes to the top rope. She jumps off, does a cartwheel, lands on her feet, and then connects with a DDT onto Chelsea Green, but was only able to get a 2 count. And in the final moments of the match, heading into the finish, we got some more ringside bullshit happening with Piper Niven and Alba Fire. They attacked, they brawled with Zarya at ringside. Sol Ruca was distracted by them long enough for Chelsea Green to hit the code breaker and then hit the unprettier to pin and retain. Your winner, and still the WWE Women's United States Champion,
Chelsea Green!
Thank you. Needless to say, Chelsea Green succeeded in laying the smackdown on Sol Ruca's candy ass. Juan, your thoughts?
Okay, this is a good way to start the show. You're off to a good start. This is how you get people going. This is how you get them motivated. This is how you get them feeling alive. God dang it, man. How dare... the secret Hervis get in the way of Sol Ruka nearly clinching the women's U.S. title away. And it could have been a lot worse if Zarya wasn't around. Thank goodness that she was. But at the end of the day, Chelsea shows just how much of a badass she can be still. I still love her DL sales, but that's a completely unrelated thing. In the chat, Mr. Quake, Australian She-Hulk, TMS versus Chelsea Green. TMS, who's TMS?
I don't know who that is.
Okay, sorry about that. And WrestleMania should be in Saudi Arabia.
No! Not because I don't like the country, not because I don't like the people, but I don't like their government.
Hail to the no! Hail to the no! To the no!
Mr. Guru said, Chelsea's Greens group is named The Cabinet. Chels may owe JBL copyright money. JBL, Bash and Bros, and Orlando Jordan had that name for... Well, I don't know if they're called The Cabinet.
Yes, they are, Jose. They're her cabinet.
Oh, shit, it's the Cabinet 2.0.
It's a new cabinet. JBL has been out of office. He's ineligible to hold office anymore. He can't have it, so she doesn't owe him shit.
Wait. Does that mean that she also owns the all of the Cabinet's assets, including that Longhorn limo?
Yo, imagine if came in with JBL's Longhorn limo.
Bro, oh my god. Yeah, seriously, why not go all the way with the gimmick?
Tyra May Steele, former NXT Level Up Superstar. Oh, okay. Tyra May Steele. Okay, my bad. Didn't know, couldn't tell. That's on me.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to the exciting match of the night, and it is a faction war. We're talking
gang rules, is he?
Not quite, but it is a 6-person tag match.
Holla, holla, holla.
All right, featuring the teams of, representing the D'Angelo family, you got the Underboss, Channing Stax Lorenzo. You've got the Consigliere, Luca Crucifino. And you've got Adriana Rizzo versus the newly formed faction of The Culling, represented by Nico Vance in the middle, Brooks Jensen to the right, and Izzy Dame on the left.
The nerve of them.
The Culling. It's still a bad name.
Well, it just comes off weird, but what are they calling? Are they calling their enemies away?
They're on a mission
Do they need a prepaid phone?
They're on a mission to purge the weak.
Do they need Virgin Mobile?
Izzy Dame don't need Virgin Mobile. Ayo! No, I'll stop. I'll stop before Broadbreaker spears me.
Oh my god!
I'll stop before Broadbreaker spears me.
Oh, so now he's dating Izzy Dame?
Yes.
Man, fuck. Doing Cora Jade dirty over here, man. Fuck, how dare you, Braun?
Womp womp. Well, anyway, so...
No, for real. Cora, holla at your boy.
I think she's already taken, my friend. But
so am I! That ain't stopping me, though!
But getting back to it, so last week... The Culling, after Sean Spears captured the NXT North American Championship, the Culling has made their mission statement clear. They're here to purge the weak off NXT. But the D'Angelo family was not done with them. What's-his-face? With Channing Lorenzo once again taking matters into his own hands as the underboss, made this 6-man tag match without the consent of Tony D'Angelo.
Excuse me, Papa Poopy?
And Tony D'Angelo would be watching backstage instead of joining his family at ringside.
Bippity poopity pop.
Boppity boopity.
Intriguing.
Indeed. Of course, the ladies wasted no time in starting off the match with Adriana Rizzo going directly headfirst into Izzy Dame, laying in those right-hand punches.
Oh, Mr. Quake, by the way, and Vicente... Oh, remember Fuddruckers? Yeah, those are cool. Mr. Vicente, Loki bacon cheeseburgers, not so into the onions, depends on if they're grilled. And Mr. Quake, I eat burgers with mushrooms, lettuce, banana peppers, and mustard. Peppers and mustard. That's not bad. I would do it with mushrooms, but there's a special secret regarding the onions. I'm not telling you guys, though. Sorry.
Yeah. Personally, I like my onions cooked. I like them cooked and I like them diced.
Oh yeah, that's not a problem. But yeah, let's get on with the.
All right, enough shit. I just ate dinner. But yeah, the D'Angelo family were picking up the early momentum, and then we had a really cool spot where everybody's flying all over the place. Hey, Channing Lorenzo, he gets a flying spot. So does Luca Crucifino. Hey, what's up, Nico Vance? You want to fly too? You get to fly. You get to fly. You get to fly. Izzy gets to fly. And even Adriana Rizzo gets to fly. Hey, Juan, do you want to fly? You get to fly.
Do I?
Yes, you do. Just don't flop around like AJ Francis. Are we good? Okay. Yes, Juan. You get to fly. Just don't go flopping around like... Oh, God. All right. Wait. Juan, you're going to crush the chair. Chair. No. Seriously, get off.
How am I crushing the chair?
Juan, you underestimate your own weight.
Even when I'm holding myself up?
I believe I can fly. Oh, God. Go back to eating your burger.
Happily.
This is enclosed space. It's easy for us to knock shit over. I believe I can fly.
Okay.
Well, yes, we had
What happens when you try to tell me that I can fly?
We had everybody doing a high spot before we get to commercial break, and when we got back, Stax Lorenzo was the one being worked over against the Culling. 3-on-1. The Culling are doing their damnedest to keep Stax from tagging in Luca Crucifino, and Stax Lorenzo is doing the best he can to try and fight off against the odds. Also, a little attire aesthetic criticism. The attires that Brooks Jensen and Nico Vance are wearing are so generic. Well, especially Brooks. Brooks is simple. He's got the red and blue, and he has the letters XO on them. That's it, just XO. What are you trying to tell us?
Executive officer?
I don't know what. You want hugs and kisses? I mean, buddy, I appreciate that you got a haircut. That's good. You're less hideous looking, but bro, come on, man. Ain't nobody gonna hug and kiss you.
Go back to your mama if you're looking for X's and O's, bitch.
Or go back to your daddy, Bull Buchanan, B2. Booyah! Oh, you didn't know this? Oh, he didn't know this. Brooks Jensen is the son of former WWE superstar Bull Buchanan.
What? Oh my fucking God, what?
Oh my God, yeah!
Bullshit!
I don't bullshit, my friend. I do not bullshit. And apparently neither does the Culling. As Nico Vance works over and keeps the pressure onto the underboss. While Luca Crucifino is trying to get his partner to tag in and trying to show support from ringside. Tony D'Angelo, of course, continues to watch backstage as NXT continues to show us like backstage footage of Tony D supporting his friends via watching on his flat screen TV or whatever the fuck.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Also, another thing I want to point out, the D'Angelo family, they're color coordinated. Like, look at Luca and Channing Lorenzo. Like, they're wearing blue and white, with white pinstripes and shit, except for Adriana Rizzo. But you know what? That's Rizzo. So, in this awesome moment, Brooks Jensen tries to go in for an elbow drop, but Lorenzo ducks out of the way, and he gets a hot tag on Luca Crucifino. And surprisingly, when the tag happened, go ahead and click on it. Luca Crucifino was a ball of fire, and the entire fan section of the Performance Center, they were all 100% behind Luca Crucifino. They were chanting, Luca, Luca. Like, holy fuck, where did this guy get this much fan support?
Right? What is this all about? Where did this come from?
I think this is also coming from the fact that Luca's working double time. As pointed out by Mr. Quake in the live chat, Luca Crucifino is also wrestling in Evolve.
That would do it.
Yeah, and man, if that's one of the big payoffs to working at Evolve and NXT, then you know what? More power to him, dude. Maximize all the mileage you've got.
You fucking shit. Yeah, go for it.
Yes,
fuck.
The D'Angelo family continued to mount their comeback until they were distracted. I wish I had a picture of this, but the D'Angelo family saw Tony D'Angelo getting jumped by the 4 masked men backstage on the Titantron, and that distraction unfortunately cost the D'Angelo family a lot.
No, what? Why?
Nico Vance hoists up Luca Crucifino and delivers the burning hammer to win for his faction. Your winners, the Culling.
You're kidding me. When did this? What? What?
Tony D'Angelo was jumped by the mysterious masked group. Like, one crazy ass faction after another. We're gonna get to that masked faction soon enough, by the way, guys. We're gonna get to them, but yeah, oh man, things are not looking good for the D'Angelo family. Things are not looking good for our favorite paisanos, Juancho.
I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense.
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I know. But you know what? It's going to continue this story. It's going to continue this faction rivalry. And hopefully it'll lead us to a rematch between Tony D'Angelo and Shawn Spears for the NXT North American title. But you know what?
Is that where this is going?
I believe that's where this is going.
I don't know, Jose. That's a little bit of a stretch, but sure. Okay, well, if you think that's where it's going to happen, then that's what's going to happen.
All right.
In the chat, let's see here. What is it? Lucha Underground? With me jumping across. Vicente. Juan wedge for a plancha like Balls Mahoney. Totally unexpected for heavier guys. Well, I am 260 pounds of pure motivation. But... Yeah. I won't lie. I'm a big guy. Let's see. XO could mean Brooks Jensen was a fan of the original Gossip Girl TV series. With every one of the episodes end with a voiceover XOXO Gossip Girl.
Oh my god!
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Same as Oro Mensa swipe right is Eminem 2.0. What?
Where do you watch Evolve? I have. WWE Evolve is on Tubi, and Tubi is free to download.
Yep. Tubi is free. Tubi. That is where WWE Evolve is on.
And I'm going to say this right now that we're talking about it, I'm 3 episodes into Evolve, and I got to say, I like the presentation. It is great. They're introducing wrestlers from the WWE NIL, Next in Line program, and they're also introducing wrestlers from the independent scene who signed on through the ID program, such as Kylie Ray.
Yay!
Yes, and I love that. They're presenting wrestlers like Kylie Ray. They're giving a chance for NXT wrestlers like Brindley Reese and Luca Cusafino to continue to work on Evolve, to develop their skills, so that they can get more over on national television.
Mr. Quake was saying, like, I miss Joe Gacy. Yo, Joe Gacy's having the fun time being part of the Wyatt Six.
Yeah, that is true.
Don't forget, Joe Gacy's still around. He's just under a mask, and he's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, I know, right?
Does that count as an ish?
He's Husky the Pig.
That fucking tracks.
All right.
Evolved is NXT OG done right. I can see that.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
All right. Now we're going to get to the exciting segment of the night, because now we get to hear from our own champ. We get to hear from the NXT Women's Champion and NXT Women's North American Champion, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, she is too fucking gorgeous. I can't fucking, not be distracted by her beauty. I'm sorry. I seem like I'm shallow. I'm really not. I promise I like people for their brains and for their personalities and shit. But oh my fucking god, the fact that Stephanie Vaquer is just fucking beautiful.
Yes,
it's distracting to me. I can't help it. I'm sorry, but still, yes, it's excellent that she's the champ of NXT.
No, of course. That being said, after coming off from an incredible main event last week on WWE Roadblock, facing her best friend Julia in a winner-takes-all match, Stephanie Vaquer cut an amazing babyface promo. It's really silly. She started off first by saying, "It's really hard for me to say this because English is not my first language, but wrestling is my first language, and this proves it." Pointing to her championship belts.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I love that.
That is not bad. That is impressive, and that's a good way to get around all that craziness. So I dig it.
I dig it indeed. She then talks about how having these championships makes her the best of the best, and the fans were all coming unglued, chanting "La Primera" all over the section.
La Primera.
And that she will defend the championships against anyone who faces her, who comes face to face and looks her in the eyes, and is ready to go one-on-one against Stephanie Vaquer. And then out comes the former TNA Knockouts World Champion, Jordynne Grace.
The juggernaut Jordynne Grace.
Complete with ridiculously tall black platform boots.
Oh yeah, no. She was all over social media from Tuesday on forward, showing off her Patrick Star from SpongeBob SquarePants cosplay here. Her closet cosplay.
I don't have a picture of it, sadly, folks. But Jordynne Grace did get on the mic, and she mentioned that last week she had the match of her life on Roadblock, facing and defeating Roxanne Perez. And just as she was about to continue, and may or may not be hinting. And may not be hinting at facing Stephanie Vaquer for one of the titles, she was blindsided by NXT's own Jada Parker.
Really?
Yep, and yeah, there's the platforms.
Also,
oh my God.
Here's the fucking, here's the giant platforms of doom. This
oh my
is not
God.
The best,
not the best picture, but still. Oh my God. They're so big. Like, the souls are so huge.
Okay.
Look at that! Look at that! Jesus!
What the hell? Those are literally 6-inch platforms of death. Also, Jeannie Rick made their way into the chat. Hey up, Jeannie Rick. Welcome to Wrestle Rewind.
Yay!
Like these gigantic ass boots that
the
Juggernaut
God.
was wearing this week on NXT.
These boots were made for walking, and that's just what she did. But unfortunately, these boots will not run all over Jada Parker.
But look at those! What are those? I love them!
I know,
ridiculous.
Right? Hot Topic Vibe says Mr. Quake. Yes, very much Hot Topic Vibes.
AKA Jose's Kryptonite.
Shut up.
Don't lie.
All right.
I'll shut up when I'm dead, okay? In the meantime, I'm speaking facts. And the fact is, we're both down with this shit, all right? So put her there.
Put it there.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, careful, I'm balancing myself over here.
So back to NXT. So Jada Parker attacks Jordynne Grace, made it clear that the line starts behind her, not in front of her. She goes into the ring, and then she cuts a promo face-to-face against Roxanne Perez, saying that...
Roxanne Perez?
Against Stephanie Vaquez. Sorry, man, I have to look ahead.
Look at what happens when Roxy was champion for as long as she was. That's so messed up. How dare you, Zay?
I know. So... Jada Parker gets on the mic and she says that she calls out Stephanie Vaquer saying, you'll defend the titles against anybody who looks you in the eye, right? Well, I am 10 inches, what's the thing? 10 inches toes. No, 10 inches from your toes, and I'm staring down at you. And she also warned Stephanie Vaquer to bask in the glory of being a champ because it ain't gonna last long. And she's calling her shot, and she'll be facing Stephanie Vaquer for the NXT Women's title next week.
Wow. Okay, so that's how that's going here.
But it doesn't stop there. Like in another backstage segment, I don't have the picture, but in a backstage segment, the match was also set up because Fallon Henley wants a rematch for the women's North American title. So next week on NXT, Stephanie Vaquer is working double duty. She's going to be defending both her titles in two separate matches against Fallon Henley and Jada Parker.
Why not two fall triple threat match or something like that?
I don't know. I guess they're trying to keep things simplified. Simple. You know?
That's still, like, it'd be simpler if you said it as a two fall triple threat match, though.
Yeah, and I agree with you. That would have worked just the same, but... No, I have a power supply. It's okay.
All right, fine.
I was just checking. All right. Now, with that being said, I am looking forward to this, and I think that Stephanie Vaquer is going to win, and she's going to retain both belts. But we'll see.
Here's hoping, because that would be crazy for her to lose both or either of the belts on the night over here. That'd be wild. In the chat, Vicente Guerrero was saying there nothing wrong with saying Stephanie Vaquer is both beautiful and great in the ring.
Nothing.
Okay, Jada is her, H-E-R, hot. Jeannie Rick, LOL, OMG, killer boots for sure. Hot Topic is expensive. Yeah, no kidding. I used to be able to go shop there, and then society happened.
I would have to disagree, because there used to be a website called rivethead.com many years ago, and their boots were even more expensive. I can prove it because I have a pair of Gothic Stompers myself that I paid for nearly $200 for.
Jesus fuck, Jose.
And to this day, they're still in perfect condition. I love my boots. Anyways, but enough about my sense of fashion. Let's move on and continue to talk about the world inside the squared circle.
Okay.
Because now we're going to get to the match of the night. And you know what? I'm so thankful that there are gamers out there who set these things up, because I couldn't find a good match picture to share. Okay. It's Carmen Petrovic going one-on-one against JC Jane of the Fatal Influence.
Okay. That's Ashante the Adonis behind her, yes?
Yep, because they're still an item.
Oh my lord, what the fuck?
So, So the Fatal Influence, they are pissed off because Fallon Henley, number one, Fallon Henley wants her rematch for the North American title, which she got, and there was a little bit of I'm not saying it's a lot, but it's a little bit of a dissension between the ranks between JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix. Things have not been going well for this faction. They haven't been picking up any W's as of late, so they really need to pick up. Tony Storm doesn't have an Instagram. Doesn't have a Twitter.
I was about to say, like, she's got an Instagram.
No, she's got an Instagram. She had no Twitter. So.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so getting back to it. They need to get, and it's time for the Fatal Influence to get back into their winning ways. And as for Carmen Petrovic and Ashante the Adonis, well, something romance angle. I really don't give a shit about.
Neither do I. It's such a pain to the butt too because it's not like it's a bad angle. It's just not well developed.
Yeah, no. If you look at the past histories of different romance angles, like for instance, CM Punk and AJ Lee on screen back in 2012 to 2013, which ironically turned into real life.
Yay!
Then there's the on-screen romance of Edge and Lita, and then there's also the on-screen romance of let's see, I'm trying to think. There's not no. Of Goldust and Marlena, for however bizarre that was.
I thought they were married before that. Or did they get married after?
Yeah,
that's Terry Runnels, yeah?
Yeah, but we're talking about on-screen presentation of wrestling romance.
Okay, but that doesn't, does it count as on-screen persona if they were married before being a couple or whatever, or were they married before being a couple?
They were married before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, does it count?
Yeah.
I don't like.
No, Mr. Craig, Kane and Lita do not count. That is the worst.
The fuck, Mr. Kane? Ew! Wow!
No,
I get it. But wow, man! We're fucking with you, but still, like, holy crap!
Don't do that!
I'm traumatized by the evil marriage and the horrible demonic rape baby they supposedly have. Oh no, Lana's not a gold digger. If I'm not mistaken, Lana just likes cucking Miro, apparently. And
that stupid romance angle between Lana and Liv Morgan and Miro and Bobby God damn, man.
Right.
What the fuck is up with the wrestling world?
Stacey Keibler and Randy Orton, was that a thing?
Nah, not really.
Were they?
Nah, it was short-lived. It was very, very short, and it wasn't even a thing.
Really?
I didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
All right, but let's focus on the match because I have pictures.
Oh, you have pictures of this?
Yes.
All right, well, let's see where this takes us.
Oh, trust me, it's going to be a lot better than you think. So, JC Jane looking very ferocious right now. She puts the lock in on Carmen Petrovic. She puts the hurting on this gold-blooded NXT prospect.
Gold-blooded?
Yeah, that's a nickname they have for her because that she's a gold-blooded warrior.
Gold-blooded?
Yeah. For Carmen Petrovic.
Gold-blooded. Is she an Olympian god? Is she freaking thing going like?
Not that I know of. They're not presenting her as a god. They're presenting her more as like as a martial artist and a katana wielding badass.
Yeah, no, like I'm still what the fuck? That's just such a weird name thing, and I'm looking at her tights and she's got sparklies. That's not important. Oh, China and Eddie. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good romance.
That was a really good one.
All right. Fun.
Fair.
And it was
how the hell did we not think of that?
Yeah, how did we think of that one? What the fuck is wrong with you?
All right, but anyway, so JC Jane continues to put the hurting on Carmen Petrovic, and Carmen Petrovic, she did her best. She tried to fight back against her, and at one point, even Ashante the Adonis tried to slip in a steel chair to get Carmen to cheat, but Carmen would not cheat, and that cost her in a big way. What's her face? Carmen Petrovic whipped JC Jane over to the corner. JC Jane rebounded and hit a spinning discus forearm to pin and win. Your winner, JC Jane. So not only is Carmen and Ashante a thing, but Ashante is trying to turn Carmen more heel. More heel.
Really?
Yeah, that's not a very good relationship. That screams toxicity, my friend.
Mm-hmm. Carmen should take a page off of John Cena and break up from the toxic relationship.
Oh God, that's another good one from Vincent Guerrero. Stacy Keibler and David. Back in WCW, David Flair was in a love triangle between Miss Hancock, Stacy Keibler, and Daphne, the late Daphne.
Oh my God, what the hell?
Oh God.
And Stacy and Test. I thought it was Stephanie and Test. No, it was Stacy and Test and Scott Steiner, and they were both being assholes to her. And then Mick Foley saved her, and she did cartwheels with her thong out, and they both got removed from her, and she thanked and hugged Mick Foley all the livelong day.
Yeah.
I remember that. And Lisa Boo's in the chat. Hey up, Lisa Boo.
Hey!
Hi, guys. Popped in to say hi, and we'll watch the replay.
Please
Much
and thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Please. But that being said, this match did not last long. This match was short-lived, and Ashante was trying to get Carmen to cheat. But Carmen is not a cheater.
No, she's not. She's loyal.
Hells yeah. And now we're moving on from one faction with a horrible name to another faction with a horrible name.
Oh boy.
Because now, finally, after weeks and weeks of vignettes and run-ins and backstage assaults, we finally get an impromptu mission statement from this gang of NXT wrestlers.
Who the fuck are these jobberonis?
These Wish app Shield members have given themselves, I kid you not, one of the most ridiculous, outrageous edgelord names for a faction. Juan, you ready for this? Remember how I said the culling was ridiculous?
Wait, these guys did worse than the culling?
I take back what I said because damn, they found WWE found a way to prove me wrong. This faction is called Dark State. All in one word, Dark State.
What?
Oh my God! Oh my!
What?
That's so edgy, bro.
The fuck was that?
Dark State.
Okay. Who are these four guys? What do they want with my life?
These four guys are on a mission to tear down NXT, and it's another invasion angle. The same mission as the culling. Bro, you're like 1 week too late. Oh my
Jose,
God.
You misunderstand my question. Who are they? I don't know who any of these fucking dopes are. I want names. I want details. I want to know who they came from. I want their families dead. I want these guys dead. I want their families dead. I want their houses burned to the ground. Gabagooli.
All right. Hang on a minute.
And truthfully, for crying out loud, this feels like we've got the old AEW problem of too many bad guy factions.
All right. The foursome of the stable known as Dark State consists of Saquon Sugars, Cutler James, Osiris Griffin, and Dion Lennox. One struggle blank.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because no, it doesn't. Who are they? Why should I care?
I don't know, but for weeks they've been jumping Trick Williams, they've been jumping Obafemi, they've been jumping Javon Evans, and now they have targeted Tony D'Angelo.
Oh my God.
Dark State and culling? Take your pick!
I was gonna pass you a trident, because I made awesome burgers. But I'm not passing you a trident anymore.
No. Ow!
Cut it out.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Instead, I'd just throw the trident at you. I knew Lennox, Dion, and Hercules, the former Duke University wrestlers. Okay, that's cool. Except, why? Why?
Saquon Sugars. I'm guessing he's the leader in the that's on screen talking.
They were mistreated. They were mistreated. Juan. Mistreated by whom?
Okay, they are NXT wrestlers that were mistreated. Well, I know that Dion Lennox was picking up losses on NXT TV before he decided enough was enough.
When?
That was
you never mentioned these guys.
Oh God, let's move on.
Hold on. Dark Vicente, LOL, Dark State. Even Adam Copeland would be laughing at that name while saying "fuck these guys." Says Adam Edge Copeland, who has to whip out a freaking spiky baseball bat to fucking get over in a match.
Hey, listen, we're gonna get to the not so dope moment of Cope when we get to it. Let's go ahead and continue on, and let's move on because it's main event time. Because these two guys, Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe, they're going to be running it back one more time, but not in a regular one-on-one match, on NXT Underground.
Ooh. Okay, now you're talking my language because I love the NXT Underground matches.
Hells yeah, and
I'm a mark for those.
And it's been a good long time since we had a men's version of NXT Underground.
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed.
In the chat, Mr. Quake was saying, Trick Williams is an entitled sports entertainer. Jose needs Mentos. Lennox Dion felt angry and frustrated with WWE management. Okay. Still, motherfuckers, was that the best they could come up with? The Dark State?
Dark State.
Are they trying to say the Deep State, but they can't say Deep State because too many fucking idiot conspiracy theorist losers are in the actual government and they still think that there's a Deep State working against them when there actually isn't, and it's just a bunch of fucking incompetence on their part?
At least not.
And they don't want to be associated with that incompetence.
At least they didn't default to retribution. That would have been worse.
That would have been horrifying.
But that being said, Trick Williams, Eddie Thorpe, NXT Underground match. There are no ring ropes. There are no pinfalls. There's no disqualifications. The only way to win is to win by submission or win by knockout. And it is the closest to MMA that WWE is ever going to get.
Well, there was also the fight pit thing that they had for a while.
Oh yeah, that's true. That the fight pit thing that they had in 2022 featuring Seth Rollins and now fired Matt Riddle.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That was cool.
All right, so.
And here's how they have it all set up. And check it out. Check out the presentation of NXT Underground. You've got developmental wrestlers at ringside from WWE Evolve that's surrounding the ring. And Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe are standing right in the middle, face to face. And the visual presentation is all darkened just to make things more help me out.
Just to give it a bit different atmosphere of
different atmosphere,
like
different vibe.
Fight.
Yeah, because it's the Underground. You want to give it a different vibe.
Oh my lord, Mr. Quake was saying these guys are going to drain the swamp on NXT.
Oh no.
Because the Dark State, the Deep State.
Yeah.
NXT Underground greater than Raw Underground. Yeah.
By leaps and bounds.
Easily.
The only good thing I'll say about Raw Underground is that I got a chance to see Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, and freaking Aleister Black mix it up with some MMA in their MMA chops.
Also, Shane McMahon tried to make go-go dancer girls.
Oh god, he's so stupid.
Like, Shane, come on, man.
He's so out of place.
Like, Shane,
with those freaking Mickey, with those white shoes and that smile. Anyway, so now I want to preface it by saying that this main event match actually was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. I buzzed Juan and messaged him. I'm like, Juancho, you can watch this while at work because it's only 4.5 minutes.
And I didn't. What the fuck, man?
So these two guys it wasted no time, started brawling in the middle of the ring before taking it over to ringside.
So anyway, we started brawling.
They started brawling, and Eddie Thorpe got the upper hand during this fight, and he started slamming Trick Williams onto the announce desk, because of course we have to have an announce table spot, right?
Because of course.
Yes. And then when we
was Booker T humming along to Trick Williams now in the middle of this mess? Oh yeah, oh fuck. Nope. I don't like that, dog.
No, he wasn't. Oh, yeah, that's right. Raw Underground was the debut of Omos as the bodyguard.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
All right. And now, when we get back from commercial break, it looked like Eddie Thorpe had this match won. Trick Williams starts laying in scoop slams until Eddie Thorpe was able to counter the third one into a triangle choke. And then Trick Williams just used his strength and will to power out of the submission hold and yeet Eddie Thorpe into the Evolve crowd.
Yeet.
And then Eddie Thorpe made his way back into the ring, and then he was blindsided by the trick knee, the trick shot. And then Trick Williams laid in these right-hand forearms until the referee called for the bell.
Because this basically was enough to to knock fucking Eddie Thorpe out.
Yeah, it was just a trick shot knee, and then these right hammer punches. These hammer fists.
Just hammer fisting, bong, bong, bong like an asshole?
Like an asshole.
Wow! That is asshole maneuvering, but sure, why not?
So Trick won the match, and after winning the match, he immediately got on the mic, and he called out the NXT champion himself, the ruler, the coconut, the mountain you cannot climb.
The bringer of war?
The bringer of war! The great Obafemi. Obafemi goes down to the ring, takes off his t-shirt, and these both men size up against each other. And joining in the fray is, of course, Javon Evans. Javon Evans also joins in.
Really, Javon, man?
Yep,
Really,
because
brother?
Javon is also feuding with Trick Williams because Trick is now turning heel. Oh,
excuse me?
Yes, Trick is slowly turning heel against Javon.
How is this heel, though? Well, Eddie Thorpe is
because Trick Williams is no longer the top guy, and he's obsessed with the NXT Championship, and that obsession is ruining his friendships, and it's ruining his vibe.
No, it's all right. Okay, I get that, but what the fuck, man?
And then out comes Dark State. 4 men are over at the. No. Here's the thing. 4 guys. They're all split off in different sections of the fan section, but they didn't get into the ring. Instead, what we got was a Pier 6 brawl.
Pier 6 brawl.
Pier 6 brawl. Pier 6 brawl. Pier 6 brawl. Yeah.
What the fuck?
All the guys from WWE Evolve got into the ring and tried to break up Trick, Obafemi, and Javon Evans, but all 3 of these contestants started fighting off against the Evolve guys. Oh, and I do want to point out, just a funny little thing, that Brynlee Reese is one of the few Evolve women that was at ringside for NXT Underground. I'm like, oh yeah, you better hope that she doesn't get into the ring, because she's going to overpower your asses. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, what, just because she's a woman? Huh? She can't take on Obafemi?
But did she?
No, she didn't. She didn't get it. She didn't.
Why are you bringing that up? If oh no, she just
It was just funny because she was in the camp. She was in that camp during the main event. But yeah, the whole thing ends in a Pier 6 brawl, and that's where we close off the show.
God, chaos.
But yeah, the NXT Underground match was a lot shorter than I was anticipating. I'm going to be honest. I'm let down because of it. Only 4.5 minutes was the match only lasted 4.5 minutes. What the fuck?
That is pretty fucky. I won't.
I don't understand, why did he need to cut it short? This is their 3rd encounter of Trick and Eddie Thorpe. Why can't they go a little longer? I mean,
for real. I would have thought that this would have been an actual blow off between the two. I mean, fucking Eddie Thorpe was trying to shoehorn himself into the middle of the Iron Survivor match last year. You'd think that there would be a little more bad blood between them, and with Trick Willie over here.
Yeah, I know.
Chad Vicente Guerrero. One good thing about Dark State, at least their members look like they can hurt people, unlike Retribution.
Yeah, that is true.
Booker T was all business sucker, and Commander Aziz, too. Trick Williams broke the streak, and Javon Evans are Batman and Robin. Trick is William going heel, baby. Ooh, violin, ooh. Javon hit the gym, body looks at the meat. Javon's starting to pump up a little more. Trick Williams is angry, is slowly building as well. He felt betrayed by Mello last year.
The power of blackness, says Mr. Quay.
For real. Oh, we need a girl version of the Spirit Squad? Yo! I don't think we can handle that anymore these days.
Listen, last time we had something related to, or close to the Spirit Squad was Chase University, and unfortunately that died.
I want Thea Hale back, goddammit.
She's too busy enjoying her break, Juan.
And enjoying lots of coffee.
All good things must come to an end. So let's move on to this week's edition of AEW Dynamite.
Like the fuse hit the boom, Dynamite!
This week's AEW Dynamite takes place over in Omaha, Nebraska, the hometown of Omaha Steaks. I haven't had any yet, but I heard they're really good.
It's mail order steak, Jose. It's good, but
That being said, before I get to the review, I think it's important that we mention that there was a caveat to the Wednesday night programming of AEW Dynamite, because there was a huge blizzard storm that happened over in Omaha, over in the Nebraska state, and it impacted a lot of plans for AEW Dynamite. The wrestlers were rather than flying in because the risk of the storm, a lot of the wrestlers had to either sit at home because they couldn't make it, or some of them had to drive all the way over to Omaha to make the AEW Dynamite shows, to make the show so that they'll be able to perform.
The fuck?
Yeah. Let me put it this way.
Give me a minute.
Okay, well, let me put it in perspective for you. Let's put a number to this. Jon Moxley drove 11 hours on the road to make it to this week's edition of Dynamite.
Well, good on him. That's a good wrestling champion. Okay,
I hope it was worth it. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. Okay.
No, it's a fucking. We'll get to the actual thing with Moxley in a minute, but like on the one hand, good on Moxley for showing the work ethic, showing up, and showing for the programming. But at the same fucking time, what the fuck is Tony's problem? Tony Khan, that he doesn't know how to adapt. And because a bunch of matches that he had booked and promoted and promised to people, he had to swipe it off because people couldn't make it to the show.
Yeah, because the wrestlers, the talent, couldn't make it to the show. Yeah, and they were, and because not only do they do Dynamite, but how they're working their format is that they film Dynamite live on TV,
and then they film Ring of Honor.
No, well, I was gonna say then they film Collision.
Oh, so Collision isn't live anymore?
No, Collision is now taped. They film Dynamite, then Collision, and then Ring of Honor.
I'm sorry, what?
That's how they do it.
Oh my god. All right, let's keep going.
Let's go ahead and start things off. This week's AEW Dynamite starts off in a big way. And thank goodness that they decided to go for this route for this tournament, because we're going to start things off with a fatal four-way match. And it is featuring the contestants from right to left. The newly signed AEW prospect Speedball, Mike Bailey, former TNA X Division champion, goes up against Ricochet, the former WWE Speed champion. Yep. Against Mark Davis, representing the Don Callis family. And finally, AEW's mascot, freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. Kill me. I mean, thank you. Get out of here. All right. So there's three agile high flying dudes and one big powerhouse that is Mark Davis.
Now, normally you would think that the biggest guy has the best chance of winning, but then you got to remember this is all elite wrestling where the midgets win all the time. So don't even care about Mark Davis at this point.
Yeah, at least they're breaking down the stereotype of the big guys always winning.
No. They're just that's not even it's not even a stereotype. It's just a logic thing.
Oh yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
Let's see how much flippy dippy shit we get.
All right, so we got some intense action starting things off. All three guys are colliding in the middle of the ring. Mark Davis and Ricochet are over at ringside, fighting it off. And then in the middle of the ring, yes, Orange Cassidy does his stupid shit with his hands in pockets and shit. And I'm thankful that Mike Bailey didn't put his hands in his freaking trunks. Otherwise, I would have.
Because he doesn't have any pockets.
Otherwise, I would have indicted him for that a lot. Also, a little minor segue, I actually subscribed to Mike Bailey's YouTube channel, and I did ask him a serious question, so I'm trying to understand. I asked him this, I quote, "I'm trying to understand, what made you choose AEW over the other option?" That's how I framed the question, to which he simply answered saying, "It's where the best wrestle."
Translation. The money. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, or friends.
No, it's the money.
All right.
No, embarrass themselves.
And what's even funny is that during the Fatal 4-Way match, while Mark Davis is wrestling against Orange Cassidy and Mike Bailey, fending off against the two nimble wrestlers, Ricochet actually has a little cup of coffee over on commentary, and he talks shit.
He grabs the fucking microphone and headset and starts cutting a promo on everyone in the middle of the match,
which is funny. I thought that was funny.
What the fuck?
You know what? This heel character Ricochet had a silly start, a ridiculous silly start, but It seems like he's finally coming to his own and he's developing a character, which was missing in his run in WWE. Because, yeah, you could be high-flying, you could be aerodynamic, but where's your personality at? Where's your charisma? You know?
Like, where the fuck was this when he was in WWE? Where the fuck was this? Like, I get it. He was working as one of the vanilla midgets over in WWE. I understand.
The appropriate term is utility babyface.
Vanilla midget.
Ew, why would you validate Kevin Nash's term, Juan? Jesus.
Because as horrible as it is, it applies.
All right. Anyway, so getting back to the match.
Like, spare me the indignation over here, for Christ's sake. I ain't the biggest fan of Kevin Nash's booking theory, aka I'm the winner, LOL, all the time. Like, freaking too sweet, baby. Pay me. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but sometimes motherfucker makes a point.
Unfortunately, yes. But that being said, getting back to the match, as we get back from commercial break, Orange Cassidy is able to run circles around Mark Davis, hitting an incredible satellite DDT in the middle of the ring, and then Speedball Mike Bailey, he goes over to the top rope and he hits, then Orange Cassidy gets knocked down. Speedball Mike Bailey goes over to the top rope and he hits a shooting star press onto Mark Davis, and then Ricochet pulls Mike Bailey out of the way. He goes to the top rope and it's another shooting star press, but Orange Cassidy was able to kick out after 2 shooting star presses. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And then this is where the finish gets clunky but weird but fun. Because Mike Bailey...
But mostly clunky,
yeah,
at least it might be.
Orange Cassidy was tossed out of the ring. Mark Davis is being rolled up in a backslide pin by Speedball Mike Bailey. And just as Mike Bailey had Mark Davis pinned, Ricochet got on top of all of them and...
Tried to pin them both together.
Tried and succeeded the pin. So Mike Bailey and Ricochet both pinned Mark Davis at the same time, and the referees were all trying to come to a decision, and it is decided that at AEW Dynasty, the best bout machine, Kenny Omega, will defend the AEW International title against both Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey in a triple threat match. Juan, your thoughts?
Okay.
You completely... Wow. I think they saw my tweet when it said, okay, so Orange Cassidy's winning. And then the fans are like, and then Tony Khan's like, oh, okay, fine.
I'll show you. You can't predict what I do. I'm smarter than you. Everyone tells me that my daddy made me the vehicle best company. I know what I would do it better than you can. I'll show them all.
But then again, that's giving myself too much credit.
It's great.
Your thoughts, Juan?
Like, that's why I'm saying, like, okay, that's one way to do it. I wouldn't say that that's a bad way to do it, but only because that is weird. What if it was me, though, what I would have done was I would have had one of the two guys, either Bailey or Ricochet, pin Orange Cassidy while the other pins Mark Davis, and have like the double pin situation.
That would have been fun.
Like, yeah, that would have been fun. And I suppose we gotta make Cassidy look really strong, so Cassidy never takes a fall or whatever the fuck. But you got to give the fuckery and the shenanigans of that to help include that as a piece of the drama. Because, like, it's embarrassing enough that Mark Davis gets pinned by 2 guys. It's embarrassing enough that either Speedball or Ricochet pins Mark fucking Davis. Like, look at the size of the fucking guy. He can swallow them without thinking by accident if he inhales in their direction. But to be pinned by both of them at the same time, that doesn't strain credulity. Because that makes sense. And yes, that's where you can get the fuckiness of which of those 2 guys is the actual winner. But don't be scared to show that Orange Cassidy can fucking lose.
Yeah, seriously. Don't take the L, man.
Like, it would be just as visually impressive and you would have both guys, like, cheering and celebrating, and like, yeah, I won. Like, wait, what do you mean you won? What do you mean you won? Ref, which of us won? Wait, you both pinned? Oh, fuck. And, like, you'd have it that way. And it would work. It would still work out, though. I just, like, it sits uncomfortably with me of Orange Cassidy not being involved with taking an L because we gotta make Orange look really strong.
Which is stupid.
Fucking dumb. Okay, in the chat. Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. I agree with you. That is a booking
Cassidy
indictment
is lower
on
mid
Tony
card.
Khan.
No. He's not lower mid card.
He's the mascot.
He's the elite. He's the bestest. He's Tony's favorite.
He's
which
one
is
of
why
the
he didn't
friends.
which is why Orange Cassidy didn't take the actual loss. Let me see here. Peyton Manning is sad. Moxley needs to calm down. Tony Khan is stubborn. Mike Bailey versus Matt Riddle, bro. Nah, Mike Bailey would pummel him.
Yeah.
As insane as an 11-hour drive was for Mox, it wasn't his first. Seth Vicente, he drove 9 hours to job in a tag match to Eminem. I remember that.
Yeah.
Eminem and Moxley, was this with some other dude, or was that with...
I can't remember.
Okay. It's weird that big guys do flips and kicks and small guys could do heavy lifting. So weird. Can't remember his name, but I read a guy drove 9 hours to job in 5 minutes for IWA Mid-South. That's depressing. Prince Nana's pissed. Ricochet, you ain't Maven, bro. Ricochet giving me Andrew Tate vibes. Yeah, fucking creeper.
Yeah,
Prince
like dressing
Puma
up
is
like
the best. Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah, Ricochet's alternate persona from Lucha Underground, by the way. Prince Puma.
Oh, I get it. Haha. I want John Morrison as WWE champion. He was ECW champion. Does that count?
It counts.
Kevin said Kevin Nash left Vanilla Midget towards Eddie Guerrero. Pits Nana versus Cappuccino Jones. Shoney's menu will be Sloppy Joe's. Ha. AEW Dynasty will be called Rise of the Minorities, i.e. Swerve. Eric Bischoff greater than Tony Khan. Tony Khan with Pat Jaguar. Cassidy is lower mid card. Like, it's worse. He's the mascot and he's the best friend of the owner, so blah.
And then I always do hate how AEW turned John Morrison and Taya Valkyrie into jobbers. Those two are fucking stars.
Yo, no kidding.
Yes.
There are good and even some great wrestlers in AEW. Vicente Guerrero says Edge was not totally wrong. Problem some days is the booking. Some days?
Some days.
Like, it turns out that Tony Khan pre-books everything in advance and then checks to see whether or not if his wrestlers can even work on those days. Like what happened this week and what happened after AEW Revolution. It turns out that Tony Khan pre-booked this week's Dynamite way in advance and fucking didn't think to whether or not if any of his talent would even be there, let alone be up to the task.
Because he's stupid.
Because he's a fucking idiot.
But never.
This was exciting. This was interesting. I'm not gonna crap on the way this match ended too much further. All I'm saying is, like, was it so hard for Orange Cassidy to take an L? Fuck you.
Yeah. But that's more of a personal gripe against
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy than anything. All right, now let's get over to the exciting match of the night, and this match is a one-on-one for the AEW TBS Championship as the defending champion, the CEO Mercedes Moné, defends her championship against Billy Starks, the former Ring of Honor Women's Television Champion.
Yeah, it turns out she was allowed back on AEW's main programming after her cousin, Absolute Ricky Starks, was no longer in the company.
You're an asshole, dude. There's actually a story between these two because Billy Starks actually met Mercedes Moné back then as Sasha Banks when Billy Starks was a kid. Let me put a number to this situation. Billy Starks is 20 years old. She is 20 years old. Wrestling on Dynamite.
She's a baby. Oh my god, the poor thing. Why are they tormenting this baby by being in AEW?
What? Well, first of all, you're an asshole. You're a real asshole tonight, man.
I got a wild hair up my ass tonight, folks. And yeah, seeing Mercedes Money, I win all the belts because I'm the favorite, the best of all time.
Because she's the standard, the blueprint, the conversation.
The conversation. And she's the best ever of everything. Because I got to be on Star Wars a couple of times. So that means I'm Hollywood.
Oh, God.
God.
All right. Stupid. Well, listen. Yeah, no. Billy Starks.
She jobbed off to Boba Fett. Shut the fuck up, Mercedes.
All right. Enough. Please.
Never! It's never enough! Ever!
Do you want me to talk about this match? Because I actually want to talk a little bit about Billy Starks.
Okay, cool. Please, I want to learn about this.
Billy Starks started off.
The bad role model.
Yeah. Billie Starkz started off in the independent wrestling scene at a very young age, and she is one of the newly... Well, let me take a look. No, not 12. That would be fucking crazy.
And she started wrestling in Ring of Honor, 2 years ago?
I'm about to pull up her Wikipedia page.
Never meet your heroes, kids. With meat spelled M-E-A-T. I agree. Don't meet your heroes. That's
all right.
She
made her debut in professional wrestling in 2018. So if she's 20 years old now, 7 years ago, that's
13 years old.
She made her debut at 13. 13 years old, and she got her start, and she's still labeled as an independent wrestler. She hasn't officially signed a contract with AEW, and she's been wrestling and putting into work in Ring of Honor. She's been having incredible one-on-one matches with Athena, the current Ring of Honor Women's World Champion.
Cool. What channel can I watch that on? I won't fucking let up tonight, Jose.
So in this match, it is pretty much,
real quick, sorry. Carbonized Stardust, stay up, Carbonized. Welcome to Wrestle Rewind. Give me puppies, give me kittens, but never give me snakes. I dig that. Appreciate it. Welcome to Wrestle Rewind.
Yeah, all right. So, Mercedes Moné versus Billie Starkz. Billie Starkz and Mercedes Moné put on a really good match. Billie Starkz trying to prove that she can hang with her former idol, with the woman that she looked up to at her young, many years ago when she started her.
I'm over here thinking, how many years ago was this? You say she started at 13. That makes her a 7-year veteran already, and she looked up to Mercedes Moné when she was Sasha Banks. I'm over here thinking she must have probably already been in the business for 3 years by then.
Yeah.
16-year-old? How old was she when she freaking got to meet Mercedes Moné?
I don't know how old. All I know is that she started in the wrestling business at the age of 13, and she also graduated from Atherton High School in 2023 with a GPA of 4.0.
What?
Yeah.
Not bad. Fuck.
I know.
What's she doing wasting herself in AEW? I'm sorry.
She loves... Hey! Stop that!
Never!
You need to feel guilty for what you say.
Make me feel guilty! Make me, motherfucker! I'm messing with you, Mr. Quake. I know that you meant to spell meat, M-E-E-T. I was making a diet joke over here.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Now, Mercedes Moné, of course, continues to punish Billie Starkz, just trying to cut. Anytime Billie Starkz tries to get some whiff of offense in, Mercedes Moné is just there to piss all over the punch bowl. And she has this match, and it looks like she has this match won until Billie Starkz was able to mount a comeback. She hits a series of moves. She was able to reverse the moneymaker on Mercedes Moné. And at one point, and Mercedes Moné actually tried to hit a superplex on Billie Starkz, but Billie Starkz was able to reverse it. Both these men are still at the corner. Billie Starkz instead hoists up Mercedes Moné over her shoulders, and she hits some sort of weird. I'm trying to think of what it was. It looks like some sort of cradle slam right next to the ropes, and it looked very dangerous. Because Mercedes Moné could have injured her neck if that move wasn't done right. And Mercedes Moné was able to reach the...
that move sounds really brutal. Is the apron okay?
After hitting that move, Mercedes Moné was able to kick out after 2.
I am in for it today. I'm sorry, I wanted to look at the chat over here. Carbonize was saying, how do you slam a 13-year-old around? Even if it's planned, it's a kid. I'd be like, don't break it. Billie Starkz started at 13 years old. Wow, she must have started wrestling in England and Mexico. Yeah, no kidding. Where the hell did this go?
Well, actually, she started training over in, according to her Wikipedia page, she started training over in Indiana, and she also started, and she's also been wrestling in GCW in 2020. So
what? She would have been 15, bleeding around with those E. coli looking motherfuckers. You're kidding me.
And she also...
Oh my god!
And she made her AEW debut on December 2022 on an episode of AEW Dark before they folded.
So no one who could have watched it on television then.
Yeah, before they folded, and she moved over to Ring of Honor, and she's been doing it ever since.
Dear Lord. Mercedes Moné wrestled Indy Hartwell earlier this week, says Vicente. Indy said it was an honor because Sasha/Mercedes is her idol.
Hey, do you want me to talk about this match?
I'm checking the chat.
All right, so Mercedes Moné broke up the pin count, and then afterwards, Mercedes Moné tried to go for a schoolboy pin to try and roll up Billy Starks, but Billy Starks was able to kick out, and then Mercedes Moné was able to reverse it and lock in the bank statement, forcing Billy Starks to tap out, allowing Mercedes Moné to win and retain. Your winner, and still the AEW TBS champion, Mercedes Moné. Back to the chat.
Not surprising at all because she's a freaking glory hog. Let me see here. She was 8 years old when. Mr. Quake says she was 8 years old when she met Mercedes. Jesus fucking Christ!
Damn!
Up to the ring. Is this child abuse or something? Oh my lord!
Listen. This was a really well done wrestling match, and I am glad that I saw it. My only knock, and this is just a personal thing for me, I wouldn't put her on TV until she's at least 21 years old. To me, I think that's a very prudent thing to do.
How come?
Well, I don't know.
She's already a 7-year vet by this point, Zay.
Yeah.
You could have had her on in the ring when she was 18 on television. Like, as a matter of fact, you said that was when she made her her AEW debut in, what was it, 2023? 2022?
December 2022.
Yeah, okay, so she would have been 17 at that point. So even then, that would have been a little too soon. But that was on YouTube, so it didn't matter. Let's see here. Vicente was saying, Billy Starks was funny once in GCW. She wrestled an 18-year-old guy. Crowd saying happy birthday to him. Then Billy says happy birthday while she has him in a chinlock. Well, good on him, so congratulations. But still, and yes, Rey Mysterio did start wrestling at 13 years old. You're right about that, Mr. Quake. That didn't make it right back then either. Because Rey Mysterio is what, 50-something?
He's 40-something. No.
Wait, what?
Hang on.
Sailor Moon's greater than Sasha Banks. That goes without saying. Even when Mercedes Money was
How
cosplaying
old
solely.
is Rey Mysterio?
Even when she was doing her...
Oh, he's 50.
Oh, all right. Well, it's still fucking weird. But whatever. Sailor Moon was on USA Network before Toonami. Yeah, you're right. It was. God. Okay. So yeah, the match sounded like it was fine.
Yeah.
You notice how I'm not actually knocking on the match?
No,
I just knock on Mercedes Money.
You don't like her.
No, I don't. I think she's fucking full of herself. I'm sorry, but I'm not down with diva bullshit attitudes.
Was she full of herself in WWE? Did you think about that?
That's kind of the reason why she and Naomi left, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because they felt like Vince McMahon wasn't booking the women's tag division right, and yeah.
That two things can both be wrong simultaneously here, Jose, but that's not the point.
All right.
The point I'm making here is quite simple. Mercedes Money's a fucking...
she's riding on her own high horse.
She's high on her own fart fumes. Yeah.
All right, now let's get to the exciting segment, and this is a video segment of Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. So last week, MJF shared a moment with MVP, and MVP pointed out that nobody feared MJF anymore because MJF is not the same. Because MJF is not the same guy as he was when he made his debut, and MVP offered the assistance of the offered the services of the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, he was offered the Hurt Syndicate by MVP. Yeah, so yeah, that's tempting.
It is tempting, and MJF feels tempted because if he wants to challenge the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, he needs to match him numbers for numbers because Moxley has his own gang of Death Riders, and MJF, he's got no one to back him up. So he's considering the offer, but at the same time, he also mentioned that the last time he placed trust on someone, he was stabbed in the back for it, referencing Adam Cole and the whole Undisputed Kingdom shtick that happened at World's End 2023.
Oh, spare me with that. That was such a knockered off fucking weird ass angle and storyline. I'm fucking
They did the best they could with that angle. Like, they were hampered by inconsistencies and they were also hampered by injuries, so they did the best they could. That being said, MJF says that he will be delivering his final answer if he will join the Hurt Syndicate next week on Dynamite.
Really? So he's actually giving these guys thought?
Yes!
He's giving them the oxygen? He's giving them the time of day?
Correct!
Is he fucking nuts?
Oh, well, I mean, we knew that already. Dude, come on, it's MJF.
No,
He's
MJF,
long.
He's a few prawns short of a galaxy, as Bart Simpson would say.
Precisely. Yeah, no. Actually, yeah, you know what? Use that.
Yeah, I'm using all these images. Piss off.
God.
I know what I'm doing.
All right. So, yeah, MJF is actually considering enlisting the services of the Hurt Syndicate, and you know what? Good on him. Match them for member for member. You know, make it a gang war between the Death Riders and the Hurt Syndicate. We'll see. Let's see who comes out on top.
Sure, why the hell not?
You know, but that's just me talking because I want to see Bobby Lashley just toss some guys around. Well, I mean, just beat the shit out of people in the ring. Oh my god, I can't believe I used the earlier term. But anyways,
toss guys around.
Anyways, let's move on to.
Here we go.
It's the match.
Here we go, folks. This is the one you've been waiting for. This is the one you all know we're going to be talking about tonight.
Normally, I would have picked this match as probably the exciting match of the night because it's a world title match and it's a street fight, and it is arguably much more interesting than the main event that they had at Revolution. However, you can only tolerate so much stupidity that goes into the matches. So let's talk about this. This one-on-one match is for the AEW World Championship, and it is a straight fight. The defending champion Jon Moxley defends the title once again against the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland.
Read his name on the screen. He's got a
Cope.
Suffer.
Get out! Get out of here! Shut up! But just as Moxley was making his dramatic entrance from outside the arena, Copeland jumps Moxley from behind, and the fight gets underway. Not a match, a fight. They brawled inside the freaking the trailer of a semi-truck for a little while, before eventually taking the fight all the way over to the ring and at ringside.
Dear Lord!
Yep, they're fighting all over the place. Copeland starts hitting Moxley with some steel chairs, and then Moxley gets the up air advantage on Copeland and targets the neck on Cope because, sure, why not?
Because, yeah, let's go ahead and actually end Adam Copeland's career. Sure, let's do that.
Moxley pulls out a strange custom black kendo stick from underneath the ring and starts whacking Copeland with it.
You think you are Cora Jade?
And then both these guys make their way to the top of the announce desk. Jon Moxley plants Cope with the paradigm shift, dropping him headfirst onto the announce desk. Unfortunately, the desk has survived. I am the table joke here.
I am the table.
Yes.
Lord. Hold on. What the fuck, Vicente? You're probably not wrong. But also, I would continue my energy up just to be spiteful. Mr. Quay says, as well, I heard a rumor Jade Cargill is definitely a diva in WWE too. That's another rumor too. The problem is Mercedes Money is a proven diva. And Vicente was saying, well, if Mercedes pushed Juan down on a bed and went for brutal hate sex, Juan would be Money's biggest fan on the next review video.
Oh!
No, I would just be wealthier. You know why?
Because she's a moneymaker. Oh!
Especially after I sue her for essaying me. So sure. Yeah. I'll thank her for it the night on, and the day after I'll send her to court. Sure. Fuck. Why not?
Anyway, so getting back to the match. So back to the fight, because this is a fight. Jon Moxley then pulls out a table from underneath the ring, and then Cope was able to turn this match around, and then after knocking down Jon Moxley, Copeland goes under the ring and he pulls out his weapon, his own personal weapon, Spike. Last time we saw that,
which is a cricket bat with nails protruding out of it.
Last time he used that was on Christian Cage's nuts.
And it was enough to make Christian Cage quit an I Quit match.
Yeah.
It's not enough to stop the leader of the Death Riders. It's not enough to stop the toughest guy who gets pretzeled up by the gas station attendant at a local jiu-jitsu tournament, the toughest death riding champion, Jon Moxley.
And then we get to this spot. It starts off first. Adam Copeland was able to get one shot into Jon Moxley in the gut with a spike nails first into the guts. Then,
even though that didn't show any protrusion, so that was a worked strike.
Then Adam struck again on Jon Moxley in his back. That wasn't a work strike. This is what got everyone cringing and everyone exclaiming in different ways. With the nails facing up, Adam Copeland dropped a vertical suplex onto Jon Moxley, and Moxley landed back first onto the nails, which gave us this all-time moment. Ladies and gentlemen, your AEW World Champion,
Who
Jon
doesn't
Moxley.
present the championship belt, who doesn't comport like a champion, who doesn't fucking... No.
Oh, shit.
No.
Attack to one.
Yep. No, you don't get to call it. I'm fucking...
Should I declare the winner of the match?
What's that?
Should I get to the winner?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, fine. Attack to
Fuck
one.
off. Hi folks, Juan Arouse here, one of the heads of the Ravenswalk, tech guru of the team, host of the Black Files, and Jose's tag partner here on Wrestle Rewind. What can I say that has not already been said in the last 24 hours about this match? About this moment in this match? It was stupid. It was not necessary. We already had 2 strikes on to Moxley's body with this spiky bat, showing that it was indeed still a worked strike, which can still work for the purposes of the match. And it would still show how tough and how brutal and hardcore Jon Moxley can be. But this was a conscious choice. This is a decision that Moxley came to of his own accord between himself and Cope. He came up with this spot, presented it to Tony Khan while he was in between snorts of his special Bolivian booger sugar and his cans of soda water. And Tony Khan looked them in the eyes and said, yes. I cannot begin to understand the mentality for this particular spot. Now, if we're talking about the pay-per-view that we just had 4 days prior, no, 3 days prior, I'm sorry, Sunday at Revolution, where if we want to show brutality on the side of Adam Copeland, he could have broken this out then. But they didn't. They saved it for free television on a program where we can't tell who's watching anymore, to a half-filled building. I have no fucking words other than everything that I was shouting after the match. Because there were 2, count them, 2 separate interviews after this match happened, where Renee Paquette, real-life spouse to Jon Moxley, was interviewing Hangman Adam Page and Bandito. Your husband is an idiot! And you're talking to these guys as if nothing had happened! What the fuck? This is the cue when you tell your husband, I am taking our daughter and I am leaving the house until you get your fucking head on straight and either drop this shit or decide to drop us, because this is not needed anymore.
You have done the hardcore crazy-ass deathmatch bullshit when you were starting. You are a grown-ass man who knows how to have a professional wrestling match. You know how to have one. You have had regular matches before. It has shown. We see this. We know these things. And you're acting as if you're still an idiot child man who thinks the only way anyone will care about you is if you're bleeding like a motherfucker and taking stupid risks in stupid angles for a stupid kind of match. Any sane woman, any sane human being would look at Moxley square in the eyes and dropped him right there on the spot. Or would have been waiting backstage and said, "We're done." However, Renee apparently happens to have a bit of a blind spot when it comes to Moxley's artistic freedom. Because he's the one who fucking comes up with this nonsense. The entirety of the Death Riders angle has been his stupid nonsense. And it doesn't fucking need to be done anymore. What the fuck, Moxley? You know what? He's a grown-ass man. If he wants to do what I was saying earlier on our series a couple years back of Jeff Hardy trying to kill himself in the ring, and Jon Moxley actually wants to do that shit, go right a fucking head. Go right ahead. Go through some fucking glass panes. Fucking do the stupid kebab skewers on the forehead. And then go back and go on to your fucking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments and job off to Joe Schmo from 7-Eleven. Because you don't know how to actually fucking be a man. I'm not talking about being manly and being buff and being alpha chat. I'm talking about using your fucking head. I'm talking about actually thinking before you do something fucking stupid. He doesn't know how to fucking do that shit, and this is the proof. And if he wants to run that way, fucking fine. Whatever, man. You're a grown man. You're making your money. You're paid for life because you found the money mark of everyone's dreams. And maybe having respect from your peers or your fans might not matter to you anymore. But maybe your self-respect ought to matter to you. It's clear that it doesn't. You're a fucking idiot, Moxley. Tag in.
Don't forget your ass cushion. Ass.
Yeah, you threw it all the way over here.
Ass! We're not even done with the match!
No, we're not. We're not even done with the promo. We're only like halfway into it. I'm going to try to blitz through as much as I can.
No, don't worry about blitzing.
All right.
In the chat, let me see. So we're that Mox is heavyweight wrestling champ and of AEW, but hardly actually wrestles in his matches. Jon Moxley was going for a Sonic the Hedgehog impression. CM Punk is greater than Jon Moxley in AEW, baby. Punk was right about Tony Khan. Miz, Seth, and CM Punk are seekers. Let me see here. I guzzle gas and weed. Well, I just guzzle soda and weed, but that's nothing. Mr. John, I miss CZW death matches, Moxley. There's still CZW. There's GCW. Fucking go. Fucking Timu. Fucking Nick Gage.
I got this.
Fucking Timu Nick Gage, motherfucker. Let's see. In the words of Jim Cornette talking about John and Renee as a couple, how the fuck did these two get together? You're right. It's over, this says Mr. Quake. Renee Young's too nice. CM Punk is more common sense one. Jon Moxley's overrated. CM Punk is right. Jon Moxley's pretty and petty and egotistical.
Yes.
No
all right.
Kidding. No, like
So after this dumb moment from the watered down Nick Gage, Moxley, Wheeler Yuta jumps into the ring. Oh God, yeah, that's from what culture or what wrestling?
this is
from one
just
of the
their
videos.
thumbnail here.
Yeah.
John Moxley drives 11 hours to get impaled on spikes.
Yeah, so Wheeler Yuta gets into the ring. He hits the Busaiku knee onto Adam Copeland, and then both Wheeler and the referee try to help get the fucking thing off of Moxley's back. And as I see them trying, like they got it off, but it took like a little chunk of that skin off of it. Like, ugh, like I cringed when I saw it.
Hardcore. It's so cool.
And while the referees are attending to Moxley, Wheeler runs over at ringside. Adam Copeland plants Wheeler Yuta through with a powerbomb through the table at ringside. And then out comes the rest of the Death Riders. Out comes Pac. Out comes Claudio.
Pac is always wet and always in his ring gear. What the fuck?
But he's not wearing that stupid white t-shirt.
But he's always wet and he's always in his ring gear.
Yeah, so is the Shield. So was Roman Reigns.
Is that a joke about Roman Reigns?
Anyways.
Is Pac being used as a joke about Roman Reigns?
No,
that he's
dumbass.
always in his ring gear and that he's always wet?
That's always been his thing. Anyway, so they jump in, and then FTR jumps in to even the odds to fight off against the Death Riders. And then Moxley goes into the ring. He spears, Copeland goes to the ring. He spears Moxley through the table set up on one of the quarters of the ring, and he tries to go for a pinfall, but then out comes Marina Shafir to break up the pin and put a hurting onto Copeland. And then Willow Nightingale shows up and puts a beating onto Marina Shafir. They brawl at ringside, and then this finish makes no fucking sense. Moxley and Copeland are in the ring, and then out comes the fucking patriarchy. Super bad, it is Kip Sapien, and Nick Wayne jumps in. Nick Wayne hits the Wayne's World onto Cope, and then Moxley goes in for the pin, but then Copeland was able to kick out after 2, and then Moxley locks in the Bulldog choke, and Copeland passes out in the middle of the ring. Your winner by technical submission, and still the AEW World Champion,
he is so salty about
John Moxley.
He's so salty about losing to Joe Schmo from 7-Eleven that now he's got to use that choke out as his finisher and wins that all the time with.
And then he
God.
he and his cronies of Death Riders run off over to the fan section, and the fans are all booing him. And Moxley and all the Death Riders are putting up middle fingers, giving them all the deuces.
You skipped over FTR.
Oh no, I'm getting to FTR, yeah. And then FTR is in the middle of the ring with Willow Nightingale and Cope.
No, you skipped over them trying to help. Remember?
Yeah, no, I did say that.
No, you didn't.
No, I did. Yes, I did.
I could have sworn you didn't.
You weren't paying attention.
Well, neither was anyone else because FTR doesn't matter.
So, wow. Speaking of which, so Dax tries to help up Cope, but being disappointed that Copeland didn't get the job done, Dax drops him and then walks away from his team, walks away from everybody, all disappointed and shit.
He walks away from Willow. He walks away from
Cash.
Cope. He walks away from straight shooter Cash Wheeler. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, and then Willow Nightingale and Cash helped Copeland back up, and the fans were all chanting for Adam Copeland. He earned the adulation of the fans, which is not hard because it's Edge, but
like that doesn't make any sense. Nope. I'm playing this. Sorry, nope.
Play it.
No one knows what they're doing.
We need to get the belt off of Moxley somehow.
Right fucking now.
Ugh.
I swear to God.
Also, it's official. Moxley versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World title at Dynasty.
Okay,
Let's move on from this crap. Fuck
oh
Moxley.
My God.
Fuck this shit. All right, now let's get over to the bad segment of the night, and this is an
Didn't
interview.
I bring this up? Yeah,
Yes, you did. Speaking of Renee Paquette, so she's backstage interviewing Bandito because at AEW Revolution in the 0 Hour, Bandito's brother Gravity was assaulted by the Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho and the rest of the Learning Tree, and he was unmasked disgracefully in the ring, and the match never even got started at all. It was just a mugging. It was just a beatdown. And Bandito was hurt by this. He was very hurt, and he vowed to get revenge, and he vowed to avenge his brother. And then out comes John Morrison, Johnny TV, to just take up the rest of the interview time and set up a match between him and Bandito on Collision this Saturday.
Your husband was just impaled. I understand you're Canadian, so I understand there's some forgiving here. But what the shit, woman?
Maybe too much forgiving.
Oh my God. No, and also, like, this, I'm sorry, but how can, only Tony Khan can make me not care about John Morrison. Because I fucking loved John Morrison. I fucking loved this guy.
That's because John Morrison is not being presented as a big star like he was
You know
in
why?
WWE.
Because he's a heavyweight, and he's not a vanilla midget that Tony Khan loves.
So stupid.
In the chat, Vicente. Oh, no, Mr. Quake, look at RKO thumbtacks. Yeah, but he doesn't do them all the fucking time, though. This idiot Moxley does shit all the fucking time.
Yeah, he does.
Let me see here. Mox would be great in horror story movies. During FTR's running in to help, it looks like Dax hit his face on the commentator's table. Ow.
Oof.
Pain. Yeah, okay. Roman Reigns is a hothead. LOL. Johnny Dynamite. Yeah, no, but it said he's just Johnny TV. He's not even allowed to call himself Johnny Dynamite. It's a Canadian thing, I guess? Maybe. Fuck.
Maybe.
And Vicente also says Sammy Callahan had to have loved the Moxley bat spot. Probably looking at it and was like, either that's my boy or fuck, I'm sure glad that wasn't me.
All right. Let's go ahead and get to the main event. And this is a one-on-one encounter to settle this rivalry between two women in AEW. And it also has major title implications, as the undefeated Megan Bayne goes one-on-one against Chris Statlander with AEW Women's World Champion Timeless Toni Storm on commentary.
All right. Okay. Remind me, what's the beef between Statlander and Bayne?
Megan Bayne made her debut, and Chris Statlander was one of the women that she targeted in her undefeated streak.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that's what you meant, Mr. Quake. He says, I meant how RKO thumbtack thing looks legit.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it looks more legitimate than driving someone dick first into thumbtacks.
I made this horrible fucking joke. I made this horrible joke.
I wish I was joking.
I made this joke, but now I'm gonna fucking say it, so I don't care. Like, look at it this way: if Kyle Fletcher ever has to deal with kidney stones, he won't have to worry about passing them anymore because he's got plenty of options to go for.
All right, so Megan Bayne versus Chris Statlander, two powerhouse women going at each other. Megan Bayne and Chris Statlander starting things off strike heavy, exchanging a series of strikes, punches, and kicks and clotheslines. Megan Bayne showing off that incredible power, and so is Chris Statlander. And while these two women were battling out, Timeless Toni Storm spoke on commentary, but she made very minimal comments. She did crack a joke or two at Tony Schiavone's expense, saying like, "Oh, I heard that Tony Schiavone also had a Hollywood ending of his own, but he had to pay $45 for it."
Hi-yo!
Hi-yo! I love that shit. That is classic. That is great. Timeless Toni Storm.
Gotta love it.
And then when we get back from commercial break, Megan Bayne hits an incredible superplex on Chris Statlander, but Chris Statlander was able to kick out after two. Also, Penelope Ford is on ringside, but who gives a shit about her?
Wait, what the fuck is Penelope Storm doing here?
Penelope Ford.
I meant Penelope Ford. Sorry, I was looking at Tony Storm. What the fuck is Penelope Ford doing here?
Penelope Ford
What's she doing in the Impact Zone?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and she is beef with Chris Statlander.
I get you.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Still dumb, though.
Oh, yeah, it's very much dumb. So Chris Statlander is able to fight back. Once again, they exchange their strikes, and it is just action after action after action. And both these women are showing off their resiliency in the ring. And then the fight spills over at ringside. Chris Statlander and Megan Bayne are fighting in front of the announce desk. And Megan Bayne grabs Chris Statlander and tosses her at Toni Storm, knocking the Women's World Champion down. And then Megan Bayne hits the F5 at ringside, knocking Chris Statlander out. And for one more for good measure...
I'm pretty sure that they proprietarily have to call it the diverticulitis, Sorry, you can't call it that.
It's the Ravens flock. We're not bound by their rules.
Yeah, I know. But
Megan Bayne then hits the F5 again on Chris Statlander for good measure to pin and win. Your winner, Megan Bayne. But then Chris Statlander wrapped her right hand with tape and started brawling with Megan Bayne, which prompted the referees and officials to storm into the ring, no pun intended, and break the two women up. And I have downloaded these following words because Toni Storm cut an incredible promo on Megan Bayne. Tell me if this is or this is not poetry. I'll let you decide. She said, "My God, you're a big bitch. I've always said the bigger they are, the harder they come. So it's about time you and I got tantric. You keep looking at my title, but you don't have much to say, so I'm going to make this very easy for you. You and I shall have a date at Dynasty. And I will make your thighs shake, and your body quake. And I will leave with this strap on. For I am timeless Tony Storm, and I'm going to rip your tits off.
Wow! What the fuck?
God
damn, Tony!
That is real poetry.
What the fuck, Tony Storm? God damn, woman! Oh! The fucking innuendos everywhere! All of it! Just blah! Just freaking bukkake over the face. What the fuck? Oh my god!
You could say that was the real
Dear
moneymaker.
God damn it. Oh my god. All the sex jokes.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
Oh.
It's amazing.
Oh my god.
So on, your thoughts on that post-match promo?
Okay, the promo was fucking priceless.
Yes, it was. No, you mean timeless.
I meant priceless.
All right. Now, before we get into this week's edition of TNA Impact, we are going to talk about the main event of this year's annual pay-per-view event that happened over on last Friday in El Paso, Texas, hometown of late Eddie Guerrero. And we're talking about TNA Sacrifice. And the main event is a 10-man tag team steel cage match. On the left side, you have the team of Leon Slater, Nick Nemeth, Elijah, one half of the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Matt Hardy, and the TNA World Champion himself.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
And on the opposite team, you have JDC, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers of the System, and of course you also have the Colons, Eddie and Orlando Colon.
Okay, so the Colons and the System take on Nick Nemeth, Leon Slater, Matt Hardy, Elijah, and Joe Hendry. And the way you described this to me, Jose, is like you said that it's basically War Games, but only with one ring.
Yeah, pretty much. They have the steel cage, but they only have one wrestling ring. But the rules that were described in this main event match rings too similar to War Games.
What are these rules?
I'm actually about to find out because I know they posted it here, like they wouldn't have otherwise. So give me a minute. I will hunt it down if I have to, which I am.
Which you are.
I'm hunting it down as we speak.
Hunt more.
Oh, listen, man. Okay,
Hunt more.
Listen, just shut up.
You keep hunting. I'm going to check the chat. Let's see. WWE and Lucha Underground. That Morrison is a star. Yep. Megan Bain is AEW Championship material. I hope they do something proper with her. Let's see. I believe in Joe Gacy. I believe in Joe Hendry. Thank you, Mr. Quake. That's fucking funny. If he's Guerrero, Thomas Tony Storm trash talking Megan Bain's lack of mic skills. Quiet one, isn't she? Ha. And Tony Storm is awesome on the mic. That promo sounded like she's been hanging out with Danielle Harris. Ha.
Oh my
god.
god.
All the fucking gags.
Oh my god. Alright, I can't exactly find the rules, unfortunately, because they haven't posted it online, so I'm going to try to remember it as best as I can. So it's the same, similar to the War Games match. Two wrestlers of opposite teams are in the middle of the ring, and then every 60 seconds, another wrestler jumps in and joins the match. And then after all the wrestlers have jumped into the match, all 10 participants in, that's when the match officially begins. And the only way to win is by pinfall or submission.
And and you're not allowed to escape the cage?
No escaping the cage.
Then why didn't they put a roof on the cage?
I don't know. Why didn't WWE put a roof on the cage?
Because they actually have it set up. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah, shut up.
I cringe at Michael Cole when he said it's boss time. Yeah, you could tell that's a fucking Vince McMahonism.
That is a Vince McMahonism.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
Boss time!
But it's okay.
Fucker.
Yeah, fuck him. So, we start things off, of course, with Elijah versus Eddie Edwards in the middle of the match. They start things off, and then the first minute comes in, then Brian Myers joins in, and then after that, we got Leon Slater to even the odds, so now it's 2-on-2, and then afterwards, we have, we got one of the Colons, we got Orlando Colon, hitting a series of chains.
Why do you have to say Colon with the bad accent?
I don't know, man.
Colon, you could just say Colon.
Colon. Orlando hits a series of suplexes onto Leon Slater. He hits like a vertical suplex and then transitions to a back suplex. It's really nice. I like it. And then after that 60 seconds, we get Matt Hardy. We get Nick Nemeth, the Watson man, who makes his return after his 4 weeks, quote, suspension from TNA.
With every one of those weeks where Ryan Nemeth was doing countdown announcements and everyone was fucking annoyed with him. My big brother! Oh my god.
And then after that 60 seconds, we get the other Colon. We got Eddie Colon jumping in. And then we get Leon Slater jumping in. So now it's 4-on-4. And then the team, of course, who have the War Games advantage, I guess we'll call it that. JDC is the final participant in the heels team to go in there. And then finally, we get the TNA World Champion Joe Hendry finally getting in. And the match officially begins. And this is another example of a main event match that was shorter than I was expecting. It wasn't Trick versus Eddie short, but it certainly wasn't as long as I was expecting. So as soon as Joe Hendry gets into the ring, he hits fallaway slams on all the members of the system. He hits an avalanche fallaway slam on one of the Colons before he does his strike a pose shit.
Yeah.
Which everyone loves. And then everybody gets their spots in. Matt Hardy delivers a twist of fate through one of the members of the system. I think it was either Eddie Edwards or Brian Meyer. No, it was a JDC. He puts the chair on JDC through him, and then he hits a twist of fate, knocking his ass out. Ouch, that hurt.
Oh my god.
Yep. Then Joe Hendry hits the standing ovation on one of the guys, and he hits the standing ovation to help pin and win for his team. Your winners, Leon Slater, Nick Nemeth, Elijah, Matt Hardy, and the TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry. And then after the match, all the baby faces celebrated. It was awesome. It was great. And then one by one, they all took their turns to leave the ring. Joe Hendry left the ring. Elijah left the ring. Leon Slater left the ring. Matt Hardy took a little bit more time to pose and for the fans because the fans love Matt Hardy. And then out of nowhere, he gets... My big brother! Ryan Nemeth gets inside, locks the cage, and Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth assaulted Matt Hardy.
What the
Nick
fuck?
Nemeth has turned heel and destroyed Matt Hardy in the middle of the ring.
What the fuck?
So Matt Hardy has won. So Nick Nemeth has once again turned heel in his wrestling career. And to be honest, he makes a better heel than he does a babyface.
See this?
Yeah.
Bloody fucking massacre. Unbelievable.
The
nerve of him.
I know.
I know this is the graphics card for tonight on Impact, but still,
I don't know. It's relevant. It's relevant.
Why would he do such a thing? The nerve. What the fuck?
We'll get to that in just a bit. But before we do that, of course, we have to go ahead and deal with the fallout of everything that has happened on on the program because, God, that was a lot of shenanigans, wasn't it?
Too much shenanigans. That's a lot.
Uh-huh.
I have found God during tonight's episode of Wrestle Rewind.
I have found God, he says. Oh my God.
I'm fucking goofing.
No. I understand. It's all good. So getting back to it. So now we're going to talk about the fallout of TNA Impact, which once again takes place over in El Paso, Texas. Yeah. No, of course. Everybody loves El Paso.
So how do we start things off?
We start things off with, of course, the TNA Knockouts World Champion kicking off TNA Impact. That's right.
Masha Slamovich.
Masha Slamovich coming off fresh from her championship victory against Cora Jade over at Sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
By the way, how did Cora Jade do against this Russian assassin babe? Crazy moment.
She lost.
I mean, how did she do?
She did pretty good.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's get on it.
Yeah, no. Let's see here. Masha Slamovich, of course, kicks off TNA Impact, cutting a babyface promo, saying that she is still the Knockouts World Champion. How she prevailed, and it didn't take long for Tessa Blanchard to show up and make her presence known.
Oh my God, the racist!
Yep, the racist is here. But the racist is not alone because then out comes JC Jane crossing the line from NXT, and she interrupts Masha Slamovich, and both. JC Jane jumps Masha Slamovich from behind, which prompted Santino Marella to show up, the director of authority.
To do what?
To set up
We already have the racist out. Did he get rid of the racist?
Sort of. He set up a match between Masha Slamovich and JC Jane next week on TNA Impact, and has barred Tessa Blanchard from ringside.
Close enough.
Close enough. Vicenza says Nick Nemeth turning heel on the Hardys was a twist. Me and most people had to be thinking we would get Ryan turning on Nick, but that may be fair in the future if Nick. Yeah, if the
Nemeth brothers lose often. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
God damn, what the hell, man?
Oh, yes. This cross-promotion between NXT and TNA is working very well, even though some fans argue that TNA is now just becoming a feeder system for WWE talent.
I disagree with that. Because TNA still has its own identity.
Yes. I know, but like the fans, like the general consensus is that TNA has always been for the longest time to be anti-WWE.
Well, fat lot of good that did them.
I know.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden the bird swooped them up and caught them. And then we had like freaking Anthem all over the place, Anthem Impact, and it looked so bland and dumb and corny.
It was just all over the place, yeah. So now let's talk about the exciting match of the night. These two men are going to go at it again after Sacrifice.
Again!
All right, let's keep the chatting now because people are sleeping. So, Mustafa Ali versus Mike Santana. On TNA Sacrifice, Mustafa Ali was able to get the victory by hook and crook against Mike Santana, but now these two have a rematch, round 2, and it was really good. They start things off with a series of reversals between Mustafa Ali and Mike Santana. Mike Santana showing off some amazing in-ring prowess against this political candidate from Chicago, Illinois. And Mike Santana was trying to continue taking the fight against Mustafa Ali until Ali was knocked out until Ali rolled outside the ring. He yelled at Matthew Raywald saying, "I have nothing to prove. That man's an addict. He should be proving something, not me." And then he jumps the guardrail, leaves through the crowd, and just hands Mike Santana the win. And Mike Santana wins by countout. It's a great match, but with a lame finish. But now the scores are tied. Mustafa Ali and Mike Santana are 1-for-1. And when they got back from commercial, Gia Miller tried to get like a post-match interview with Mike Santana about why he ended the loss. And and Mustafa Ali got so pissed off. Like, he got so mad at Gia Miller. And I think the last time I saw him mad was when he yelled at Axiom, when he told Axiom, "Hey, you think you're being disrespected? Try being disrespected for 6 years in your WWE career." That was the last time I saw him get angry.
Wow, Jesus Christ.
So Mustafa Ali, after getting pissed off at me, Gia Miller, he just leaves in the limo with the rest of his entourage.
What the fuck, man?
Like I said,
fucking Mustafa.
Yeah, no, like I said,
that is such a heel fucking way to take the L. What the fuck, man?
Like I said, this was a great match. I don't necessarily like the count-out finish, but if this continues the story between Santana and Mustafa Ali until their big blow-off, then sure, let's do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? At least it protects them over here. Like, this makes more sense for protecting and not letting someone take eat a pin. I know I crapped about Orange Cassidy not eating one, but he really fucking should. In this instance, this is the heel working out like, no, I didn't lose because I'm not pinned, and the whole thing of him trying to continue to push the Mike Santana's an addict, fuck you thing.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, now let's get to the exciting segment of the night. Oh man, it's getting late, but I'm still here. Don't worry. Yep. And
this is the exciting segment. I would have thought you hated this segment.
No. It was saved. And it is another one of the first class penthouse segment hosted by Casey Navarro and AJ Francis, and their special guest is, of course, former ECW champion and WWE Cruiserweight champion Chavo Guerrero Jr.
God damn!
A third generation wrestler from the legendary Guerrero family.
Okay, so, fantastic. All right, yeah, we like ourselves some Chavo action.
Exactly. So AJ Francis and Casey Navarro, they start off with their usual shtick, and they were and they feel like they were trashing, of course, the El Paso town, saying like, "Oh, why should we host it down here?" and all this shit. and they were not happy with their guest. And then out comes Chavo Guerrero. The fans love him. The fans were chanting Eddie, which I'm sure made Chavo felt very uncomfortable back then, but he didn't seem very phased.
Bothered by it anymore.
So Chavo Guerrero cuts a promo against, does some trash talking back and forth against AJ Francis, and AJ Francis reminded, and then out comes Frankie Kazarian, and then it's just 3-on-1. And then to back Chavo up, there were two luchadors. There was Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr., two luchador wrestlers to back up Chavo Guerrero. And they've set up a match for next week on TNA Impact. It will be Chavo Guerrero stepping into the TNA Impact ring with Octagon Jr. and Laredo Kid to take on Frankie Kazarian, Casey Navarro, and AJ Francis, all in a 6-man tag team match. Fuck yeah, I miss watching Chavo Guerrero wrestle.
Shit. All right, man. I could dig this.
Now, Juan, I know that you and we've had our conversations about Chavo Guerrero, and we feel differently about him.
Yeah, no, obviously, Chavo himself, no real beef with him, not really crapping about him as a wrestler. That's never been in question. He does excellent work, and he's a credit to the Guerrero name. That being said, the way Chavo's been hyper vocal, you could say, over the years about the Eddie-sploitation shit that had been happening in WWE, only for him to go over here to TNA, and lo and behold, what are they chanting still?
Eddie.
Eddie. They're not chanting Chavo. After all this time, they're still chanting Eddie Eddie. And that used to bother the absolute fuck out of Chavito over here whenever it was done with Rey Mysterio. I guess that's why he's not bothered with it now, because they're chanting it at him. So only he's allowed to have his brother's name chanted at him? His friend isn't allowed to do that? There was even a fucking gag in the First Class Penthouse segment here where what's his face?
AJ Francis said that if he wanted a
third-rate
Guerrero join his segment, he would have called Dominic.
Wow! Ass! See, even First Class is digging in on the whole thing of Dominic Mysterio being the illegitimate son of Eddie Guerrero or whatever the fuck. You'd think that fucking Chavo would have taken exception to that in the promo?
Holy shit, give me Dominic versus Chavo Guerrero. I'd like to see that.
Dominic versus Chavo, winner owns the Guerrero name forever or some shit?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I just want to see Chavo back in WWE. I miss him.
Does seem okay with Eddie chants. I mean, hey, Chavo and Eddie wrestled each other as kids during the intermission and shows run by the family. You're right about that, but the problem here is that he's crapped on it happening with Rey Mysterio doing Eddie stuff because they were friends and he loved the guy and shit. What the hell?
Yeah.
Why is that an issue? Unless it's, of course, the fact that the actual issue is Vince being the fucking money-grubbing asshole that he is and milked Eddie's memory and his name for every last penny he could possibly
I think that's exactly it. I think it's a Vince thing.
Yeah, because I don't see much of that happening around with Triple H in charge, unless, wait, wasn't there one tweet where he crapped on it with the LWO?
I think so. Maybe. But regardless, it will be awesome to see the former Lieutenant Locos lace up his wrestling boots and taking on First Class next week. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun over here.
As long as he doesn't.
Randy Orton said Eddie's girls down there in hell. Yeah, I remember.
God. Now, I don't have a match graphic for this one, but Juan did point out that there was a really, really, really short match featuring Mance Warner, accompanied by the TNA Digital Media Champion, Steph DeLander, and he was wrestling some local talent, and it was a blink and you miss it, or rather, in Juan's case, he sneezed, and it just ended in seconds. Mance Warner won that match. It was a squash match, so there's really not much to say about that.
All right.
But now let's get to the bad segment of the night. And yes, we're finally going to talk about it. Nick and Ryan Nemeth. Oh no, why did Nick turn on his fans? Why did he turn heel? Why did he attack Matt Hardy? His argument boils down to the Hardy Boys were riding on his coattails of success because Nick Nemeth, he started off going to TNA for himself. He found success. He became world champion. The fans were behind him. And then Matt and Jeff Hardy followed him all the way over there. and took away all his thunder.
What?
Yeah. He blames Matt.
Blaming it on Matt Hardy?
He's blaming it on Matt and Jeff Hardy for riding their coattails, for riding the Nick and Ryan Nemeth's coattails into success in TNA.
What?
Yeah, that shit. We're doing that shit. Professional jealousy, and oh my god, I've heard this shit so many fucking times. I'm happy that Nick Nemeth is a heel again. I don't like that he's being a heel alongside Ryan Nemeth because Ryan Nemeth is so fucking obnoxious and annoying, and I am done with him.
Big brother! Yeah, that's fucking right.
Seriously, I want CM Punk to show up and just fucking lock in the Anaconda Vice and choke his ass out.
Like, oh, so I cost you your livelihood? Oh, so I'm the one who makes it so you can't wrestle anywhere? What the fuck have you been doing in here? In TNA? Idiot.
Exactly. And then out comes Leon Slater to try to defend the good name of the Hardy Boys, but unfortunately he gets assaulted by the 2-on-1 beatdown by Nick and Ryan Nemeth.
Like, for real, like, Leon Slater was trying to step up for the Hardys?
Yes. Like Leon Slater, you gotta pick and choose your battles,
yeah,
bro.
I was about to say, like, buddy, props for the integrity, but yeah, no, pick your fights a little more intelligently, son, because what the fuck, that was just dumb.
It was dumb.
Like, I'm sorry, like, you went out there just to get your ass whipped, son. What the hell?
And now it's time for the main event. That's right. And this main event is a tag match, player.
Holla, holla.
That's right. We're featuring the teams of, representing the system, you've got Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards going up against the team of Elijah and the TNA World Champion.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. Oh, you're not clapping anymore? What the fuck is it?
Well, I did the choo-choo. All right, fine. Joe
You did the choo-choo? Es un locomotor, un choo-choo. Really, Jose?
Yep, Joe Hendry and Elijah team up to take on Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. And the first couple of minutes before they went to commercial break, it was strongly in the babyface's favor. Elijah was a ball of fire starting off this match, and both Joe Hendry and what's his face and Brian Myers were able to use their power moves and drive the system out of the ring before they cut to commercials. That's the way me and Juan saw it, and when they came back, the system were able to regain control thanks to a little bit of help from Alicia at ringside.
Yeah, she was crapping on Elijah over here the whole time. How dare she?
How dare she, indeed. And for the rest of the match, the system were working over Elijah. Elijah was kept away from Joe Hendry, unable to make the tag thanks to these two miscreants from the Northeast.
How dare they?
And then when Elijah finally got the hot tag on Joe Hendry started laying out both Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards with fallaway slams before doing his picture pose.
Yep, him striking the pose. Yep,
him striking the pose,
which was fun, which is good.
Which is fun and good indeed. And then, of course, Elijah got in a little bit on the action as well. He hit his own finishing move. He hit his own signature move in the middle of the ring. Joe Hendry hits the standing ovation to pin.
Oh, no! Like, don't forget that. Who did he pin? Myers or Edwards?
I think he pinned Edwards.
Okay, because like fucking Elijah kept Brian Myers away from him by having him thrown down at the turnbuckle, seated at the turnbuckle, and he kind of like pinned him away and cornered him in a way where Brian Myers couldn't stand up, and couldn't move out of the way. So he was stuck seated with Elijah's ass in his face. All Elijah needed was a thong, and you would have had yourself a fucking stink face.
Listen, man, I know I've been making moneymaker jokes tonight, but that's just ridiculous.
That's not moneymaker joke. Wait, what? Oh.
And then Joe Hendry finally hits the standing ovation to pin and win for his team. Your winners, Elijah and Joe Hendry. Juan, your thoughts on the main event?
It was fine. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I didn't have a problem with it. And it made sense.
Yay! I loved it too. And the fans of El Paso, Texas love it. Now, ring that bell.
Don't mind if I do.
All right, so quick final thoughts on all three shows. So, for the fallout of TNA on TNA Impact, pretty awesome, a pretty awesome main event tag team match. Joe Hendry and Elijah getting the win, continuing their momentum. And we finally get heel Nick Nemeth, which is new to TNA, but for us WWE fans, we know how heel Dolph Ziggler works, so we'll probably see a little bit of that. Everything else in the matches were pretty solid.
There was a Steve Macklin promo video, though.
There was a Steve Macklin promo video, but I was popping for Chavo Guerrero. I love Chavo. True. Yeah. No. And there was also a knockouts tag match featuring Rosemary and Xia Brookside, which was all right, which was good. But not in the same level as Mustafa Ali versus Mike Santana, which I thought was really entertaining. But it was still good nonetheless. Now, this week's edition of AEW Dynamite, you know something? If it wasn't for that goddamn spike spot, I would have rated Mox versus Cope as the exciting match of the night because it's an AEW World Title match and it's a street fight, and it was much interesting than that boring-ass nothing burger they had at AEW Revolution.
One, why would you have another title match immediately after the first? And two, why would you have the regular match before the gimmicked match?
It doesn't make
Unless I say... Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. No, it's clearly an indictment on Tony Khan, who doesn't know how to book his matches and doesn't know how to book his pay-per-views. But other than that, opening contest with the Fatal 4-Way was fun, and the main event match was great. I love Tony Storm's post-match promo, which was just pure poetry. And thank you.
If nothing else, I can say that the Fatal 4-Way match, the ending was different in an interesting way. I understand it, and it works for what you were trying to pull off. I'm still personally peeved that, we got to make Orange Cassidy look
Orange
really
Cassidy
strong.
Wouldn't take the L. It's so stupid. And, of course, the match between Mercedes Moné and Billy Starks was really great. Yeah, a kid wrestler going up against her idol, the person that she looked up to.
It'd be like Izzy Moreno getting into the ring with Bayley right now.
Precisely! Or Roxanne Perez getting in the ring with Bayley.
Didn't they?
Oh, yeah, they did. Anyways, now, this week's edition of WWE NXT was also pretty fun. Great opening contest between Sol Ruka and Chelsea Green. Was a lot of fun to watch.
You didn't have to cue me. I was just sitting up over here.
Yep, the fans were clearly behind Chelsea Green during this match. I mean, and her gimmick is getting over like Rover. The main event NXT Underground match, I was disappointed at how short it was, and we had to make room for other stuff to happen. But it was still good. Like, not exactly the best in NXT Underground matches, but it was all right. Everything else was also pretty solid. Good tag matches. Good tag match between Josh Briggs and Inamura versus Hank and Tank. But the D'Angelo family and the Culling feud was much more engaging to me in terms of entertainment. And, of course, Stephanie Vaquer pulling double duty next week, defending both her NXT women's titles and her North American women's title, respectively.
And of course, watching Jordan Grace in her Patrick from SpongeBob outfit looking thing.
God, those
that
boots.
Was on purpose, but fuck if it wasn't.
God, those boots.
No, she was clearly doing that for the gag.
God,
she was clearly doing that for the meme. But what the fuck?
All right, that's gonna do it for this week's folks. Now, do want to preface this right now. This Saturday there will not be an edition of the Ravens Flock. We're going to be taking a temporary break, but we will be back with our main show next Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and Kick. Until then, Juan, plug us away.
Don't mind if I do. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in between, thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of Wrestle Rewind, hosted by Jose as he reviews for you the best of the worst of three of the most exciting professional wrestling programs in North America today: WWE's NXT, AEW Dynamite, and TNA Impact. Step into the ring every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, live simulcasting on YouTube and Kick. Hit the subscribe and the follow button, ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our content. Become an inner flocker by hitting the join button, and until next time, remember to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlock online, Kick.com/TheRavensFlock, and of course,
remember to hit the subscribe button and ring the tiny little notification bell right here on our flagship platform, youtube.com/The Ravensflock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and The Ravensflock.
All right, folks, thank you very much for tuning in to another exciting edition of Wrestle Rewind. For Mr. Juan Arouse, I'm Jose Casabona, and Moxley, come back to being great again.